Next man up, 1025 The Game. Jake Lyman and Parker Kelly with you on this Friday, broadcasting live from the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. And as we always are on the first hour of our Friday shows, we are joined by Max Herz from Preds Radio. Max, live out there at Bridgestone Arena today after a thrilling win for the Preds last night. Max, what's going on?
Hi, Jake. I'm sitting here in the Jack Daniels Barrel House where I finished the post-game show about
Just a few hours ago.
10 hours ago. And I always forget that when I'm going to do a show here when there's a game not going on, I should probably tell people that because we have like inspections going on in the hallway. So I apologize if there's noise of any kind. Like there are just a lot of people like looking at the walls and the floors, and I don't know what they're about to do to the walls and the floors. But yeah, one time I tried to record the podcast here and they had what in basketball is called the Slamboni out here. Cleaning things up and with really loud backup beeps. So yeah, just part of the ambiance.
Yeah,
it's Smashville.
We love it, and we'll get through whatever sounds may be coming from the background there at Bridgestone Arena. We're gonna get into a ton, including the 5-3 win, 5 unanswered goals for the Preds last night to get a much needed victory, avoiding 3 straight losses. But the most important story of last night, of course, Max, was Roman Jossi's 1,000th game as a Predator. First off, just a ridiculous feat in the NHL, period. But to do it all with one team as well. Roman Josi, 1,000 games in the NHL, 1,000 games as a Predator last night.
The first to ever do it. And thinking about it, I can't speak for the history of the franchise. I haven't been here the whole time, as so many of our fans have and some of our media have. But hearing the way that especially Willie Donick has broken it down, who has been an announcer for the team for all 27 seasons, Josi is the right person to do it. And it would have been Shea Weber, but the fact that trading Weber away did so much for the team because of what PK Subban meant in 2017, I think it makes sense that Josi is the first. And goalies almost never get it. Marty Brodeur is the only one. So it wasn't going to be Pekka Rinne. David Legwand got to 956 before he got traded away, and he ended up with 1,000, but it didn't happen here. So Roman Josi, the first Pred ever to play 1,000 games, and he's your homegrown second generation of the Preds, face of the franchise in every single way. He is everything that Smashville is about, both on and off the ice. He's an elite two-way defenseman. That's what Smashville has been built on the ice from a hockey perspective. And he is Preds in the community to a T. The best buddies are all out here. Everything he does is for Smashville and for the community. And he's such an unbelievable face for it. And the existence of players like him and Shea Weber and Pekka Rinne before him and the day one Preds before that ensure that that is never going to end. So Roman Josi as the first Mr. 1000 for the Preds, I think is really perfect. And I'm happy for any fans to push back on that because they have better expertise on especially the first half of the franchise existence than I do. But that's how I feel.
And obviously a special night last night. I saw all of the players warming up in the number 59s. I heard you talking with Frazier and Big Joe yesterday about some of the gifts that have been given to Roman Josi. I'm glad that they did it up right for Roman Josi in his 1,000th game.
Yeah, well, it's really funny because I walked around the locker room saying, hey, does anybody want to record something for Josi for us to play on the radio pregame show? And I got some joking expletives out of it. Like the goalies were standing there. They're like, he's a beep, and I can't say it. And I'm like, that's when you know you love somebody, when your first impression is to joke around with them. But yeah, warm-ups were so cool. It was on top double secret lockdown that they were all going to wear number 59 for warm-ups.
Wow.
But you knew that was coming. It's kind of become tradition in the NHL for the big name guys for 1,000 games. And the Preds have had it happen now 3 seasons in a row. A player has played their 1,000th game. 2 years ago, it was Ryan O'Reilly. Last year, it was Luke Schenn. Those guys obviously are not homegrown Preds. And also, it's a bit of a home versus road thing. Like, you're not going to wear the special jerseys in a road game.
Right.
So this was the first time the Preds had done anything like this, and it was the right way to do it. But it was just so funny going down there. Everybody wearing number 59, all the right-handed players being number 59, and everybody had a captain's patch, even the goalies. So I tweeted out a video of UC Saros wearing the captain's patch in warm-ups, And I just said rare goalie C for, and then I made a little pun out of it, Josi Saros. And the tweet has blown up because hockey Twitter loves a goalie captain. And I think a lot of people actually think he was the captain and also think that I think his first name is Josi and not Yusi. But if you watch the video long enough, you see a lap with everybody wearing the same number. So I think people are figuring out. But it was, yeah, that was really, really cool. It was just so well done. And you mentioned the gifts too. Ryan O'Reilly was nice enough to share what those were with us in the pregame interview. A limited edition custom Norcane watch, which is a Swiss watchmaker that Roman Josi endorses. And also VIP tickets for the whole family to the U.S. Open tennis tournament next year. So that's the public portion of the gifts. There's more to come when they have a private team gathering.
You mentioned Roman Josi in tennis a couple weeks ago too. Is he a huge tennis fan?
So Josi and Saros both are.
Okay.
And I would imagine many of the European players are. But the connections for both, specifically for Josi, is that Roger Federer is Mr. Switzerland. And we're at the point. I mean, look, Federer is retired, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, as far as I know.
He retired a couple years ago, and there was actually a great Amazon documentary about it, about like his final match and Federer and Nadal ending and all of that. And like now that he's retired, Roman Josi like could be approaching his status in Switzerland, depending how the Olympics go.
Right,
there's a chance. So I that's where the love of tennis comes from, and we'll see the video tributes tomorrow when we honor Roman Josi with the silver stick before the game against the Mammoth, and when Josi's great friend and Swiss countryman Nino Niederreiter became the first Swiss player ever to hit 1,000 games last month. There was a Roger Federer congratulatory video in there, so I would expect one for Roman too.
That would be amazing. And yeah, that game tomorrow against Utah will officially honor Roman Josi. We did get a text on the text line, Max, from Billy asking about plans for the game with the weather. Have you heard anything about that? Because I know that's obviously top of mind for a lot of people with the winter weather rolling in tonight.
So nothing I say is official. I do not speak for the team in this regard. I think the game will definitely happen as scheduled. Utah didn't have a game yesterday or today, so they will definitely be here. There were 4 officials here last night, so if they need to, they'll keep those same guys here and they'll go. But I mean, today traveling should be fine, right?
Yep.
Yeah, getting out would be the problem. So the NHL has a policy, and I said this yesterday too. It's more for like Edmonton, Winnipeg type scenarios, not really for Nashville.
Nashville usually isn't the focus of it.
Yeah, but it has happened here before. Like there have been games where it's been general admission. If you can get here, you get here, and be nice about your seats if someone has those tickets. And those are fun games. But the policy for the league is like if the teams are there and the officials are there, you got to play.
Right.
So I would expect the game to happen. I do not know what the contingency plan is for ticketing. I think the Preds are probably waiting to see what the weather ends up actually being like before making an announcement for that. But the one thing I can tell you is that every question you possibly have, our great ticket staff here at the Preds knows what those questions are. They are anticipating them, and they will have them answered for you in either an email or some other form of communication without you having to ask it. So please be patient. If you can get here safely, and things about ticket exchanges and things like that will be answered in due time once the Preds have an answer.
Yes, lots up in the air right now. I've seen all of the models. Some of them say we're going to get a lot of ice. Some say a lot of snow. Some say nothing at all. So I guess we will see how it all works out as the weather rolls in tonight. I haven't seen an updated forecast, but lots up in the air, and hopefully Preds and Mammoth tomorrow, the Ice Age game, can go off without a hitch. Man, Ice Age game in the ice. We love it.
Yeah, for the brand, right? Gary Bettman dialing in the weather.
We're getting lots of DreamWorks references on the station today. Apparently, Robert Saleh and Mike Borgonzi were compared to Shrek and Lord Farquaad because of the picture that was put out there yesterday. So we've got Ice Age and Shrek being referenced.
Is Saleh like huge? Is he really?
Yeah, he's a big bald guy. So I guess I can see it. Dustin from Hopkinsville just sent out a picture and included Donkey and Fiona in there and said Brinker, Saleh, Amy, and Borgonzi. So we're getting everybody listed on there. From
Can I ask you a Titans question?
Yeah, go ahead.
On the air.
Yeah.
Who was it who Saleh had beef with this year?
It was Liam Cohen. So now the coach of the Jaguars. So we are going to get Saleh versus Cohen. Saleh had some very choice words for Liam Cohen after the game between the 49ers and the Jaguars last year. So that's going to be must-see TV when the Jags and Titans square off.
And that'll be Thursday Night Football as usual, right?
Yes,
Titans,
and we're bringing the Color Rush uniforms back for it.
I went to the second half of that game when I was in college. I think we bought tickets. We were watching the first half on TV, and we were like, "Should we go?" Like, and we looked at StubHub, and there were tickets for $5, and we made it like 2 minutes into the third quarter.
I love it. There will be nothing like a Thursday night mustard yellow Jags, baby blue Titans Color Rush game on a Thursday night. It's.
But the Titans are getting new uniforms next season, right?
We don't know. That is the rumor, but there has not been any official announcement about that yet. So I guess we'll have to see. Yeah, I think it's likely. I just saw that all of the jerseys went on sale or something like that. So we'll see. Maybe we get an announcement soon.
Well, I like that they picked the light blue over the dark blue, and they can still be the two-tone blue, but like the gray on the shoulders. It's like when Vandy football had gray on their uniforms for 3 years. It's like, where is the gray coming from? Like, use your colors.
Yeah, I said this preseason that, they say some things grow on you. Those jerseys have been shrinking on me for years.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't mind them when they first released them. The last couple of years, I think they need to change. So
yeah,
we will see. 615-737-1025 is the phone number.
I derailed the crap out of that.
It's
segment.
okay. We love tangents on this show. We just go with the flow. Roman Yossi, his 1,000th game as a Predator last night, and he will be honored tomorrow ahead of the game with Utah. But a lot more went on in that game last night. The Predators trailed 3-0, 3-1 heading into the third. 5 unanswered goals to win it 5-3. We will talk about it coming up next. Max Herz is with us for the full first hour of the show. We will take your questions, 615-737-1025. Our phone line's driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Off and running on this Friday. Jake Lyman, Max Herz, Parker Kelly. Next man up, 1025 The Game. Next man up, 1025 The Game. Jake Lyman, Parker Kelly, live with you in the studio, joined by Max Herz from Preds Radio out at Bridgestone Arena. Preds with a crazy comeback win last night. Max, down 3-0, 3-1 heading to the third period. I was driving home actually as the third period was beginning, and I was all prepared to have a conversation about 3 straight losses. What does it look like for the Preds getting close to the Olympic break? And then they turned it on. 5 unanswered goals total, 4 in the third period, including a Steven Stamkos hat trick. How do they keep doing this, Max? The fall behind early, they make a run. They did it against Buffalo and came up short on Tuesday. Last night, they were able to pull off the win.
It's definitely not sustainable. And imagine how good they would be if they didn't spot the other team 3 goals every game. These would be nice, easy wins. They'd have a hat trick every night. And Stamkos, O'Reilly, and Forsberg were the line that got it done. The Preds really shortened the bench down the stretch in this game. Nick Hague got hurt. They only had 5 defensemen. Justin Barron didn't play a ton in the third. So they really only had 4 defensemen. And they only used 3 forward lines, 5-on-5 in that period. And they jumbled them up a little bit because the first half of the game didn't go well. It was Forsberg, O'Reilly, and Stamkos, Bunting, Haula, and Evangelista, and then Marchessault with McCarron and Smith down the stretch, which worked pretty well. But they got one late. They got a power play goal. The power play was huge in this game. 2 power play goals for the Preds in the game. A goal on a 2-on-0 for Jonathan Marchessault right after a power play ended on a little bit of a scramble play. After a 4-minute power play that yielded really nothing. They got a 2-on-0 after it. Evangelista with the fine, Bunting and Marchessault fresh off the bench. So Stamkos with 2 power play goals, both working down low too. Like he's getting one-timers from different places. It's not just the top of the circle. He had a one-timer in the slot on the first one, which Philip Forsberg really helped create a lot of room for. And then the second one is the easy slam dunk that, like, depending where you were sitting, if you were at the game last night, you saw that one coming a mile away. And it was beautiful. And then he scores the game winner 5-on-5 in tight 2.
Yeah, I mean, Steven Stamkos, I know there's been a lot of talk about him, especially after last year. Not the season that you expected after signing him to that big deal, but he's on track for 40 goals this year, if I'm doing my math correctly. He's got 24 now after the hat trick last night. He has been really good, and we've talked about it. A large reason why the Preds have been able to roll back into the playoff conversation.
Yeah, the goals have come fast for Stamkos here. Like it is crazy how quickly the goal total has ballooned. He only had 1 goal in the first 14 games, which is just absolutely insane to comprehend. And now with another hat trick, he's got 16 in his last 21.
Wow. And another hat trick there. It feels like there's been more hat tricks than there typically are this year. I know Stammer's got at least 2. Wood had 1 and Forsberg had 1. Is that it? Are there 4 this year?
There are 5. So
5.
O'Reilly had 1 last week as well. And by my count, looking through here, that ties the Preds franchise record already for most hat tricks in a season by the team with 5. And they're the only NHL team this season with 5. They were tied for the league lead with 4 before last night. And before last night, this didn't change because Stamkos had already had 1 this year. They were already the only team in the NHL to have 4 different players with a hat trick this season. So for a team that was so offensively inept last year and not playing an offensive style at the beginning of the season, to get your first hat trick on November 10th and then have 5 before the end of January, it's crazy.
10% of their games have had a hat trick in it. That's pretty ridiculous for the Preds. They've gotten the offensive production going. That game on Tuesday, I was in the building for that one, and I really thought they were going to pull the comeback off. I mean, down 4-0 in that one too. And as you said, that style of play is not sustainable when you spot the other team 3 or 4 goals, but they got it back to 1. It felt like the ice was tilted in their direction for the second half of that game. They just couldn't quite do enough to come back and beat Buffalo on Tuesday.
Yeah, and I mean, credit to Buffalo. Like the Sens did an awful job playing with the lead, and it is really hard to play with the lead in the NHL, even a multi-goal lead. I thought the Sabres handled it better than the Senators did, which probably is not a good thing for the Senators right now. But also last night, they played a goalie against us who was playing in the Spangler Cup at the beginning of the month, which is Not a prestigious midseason tournament that NHLers are usually leaving their teams to go play in. Like, we love Aiden Fink. He's a Preds prospect. You know him as David Poyle's final draft pick. He's playing well for Penn State, and he has a shot at being an NHL player in the future. But, like, that is the type of player who the Spengler Cup is good for. And he was in the Spengler Cup a few weeks ago, shooting on 37-year-old James Reimer. So, like, goaltending makes a difference, too. There are just so many things that affect these games. Like, in the first period against the Sabres, the Preds got absolutely embarrassed. Like, they got dog walked by a no-name line with three guys ages 19, 20, and 21. And, like, not to discredit Zach Benson, who is the most well-known player of the three, but, like, that's not the line you can give up 3 goals to in a period and win a game. So they can't come back every single time, but they almost did in that game too. So it's remarkable how close they got, to be honest with you, and even more remarkable how easy they made it look last night, because that is a hard thing to do.
Right. Preds nearly came back from down 4-0 on Tuesday and then did come back from 3-0 last night to beat Ottawa. I heard you on with Big Joe and Frazier yesterday, but I did not hear this. You said you had a revelation about this team. What was it?
Yeah, and this is not saying that I think the Preds even will make the playoffs. The way they're playing right now, they can make the playoffs, or I'm not saying they're going to do anything in the playoffs, but like thinking kind of second half of the season and thinking about the trade deadline and where pieces fit and what cup teams usually look like if you take a step back from the Preds, and maybe you even take the names off the jerseys, or you put Yossi on everybody's jersey to make everybody the same, like they did for warm-ups last night. The way this team breaks down now that, well, I guess before last night, they were fully healthy. Nick Hague got hurt last night, so we'll see what happens there. But like if you step back and you look at the ages, the experience, who these guys are, this looks like what the teams that go on cup runs, at least in terms of demographics, usually look like after the trade deadline. And that's why so many teams are going to want pieces from the Preds if the Preds do sell at the trade deadline. Because, like, they have the homegrown star goal scorer, the homegrown number 1 defenseman, the homegrown goalie. Then they have guys who have won other places and come in. They have guys who are penalty killers, role players, and then they have a few young guys. One of those young guys is in the top 6 on a really good cup team. That's probably all you're going to see from young guys in big roles. Then you have some young guys in the middle 6 who would play maybe 10 to 12 minutes if there was a playoff game today. And maybe the decor doesn't quite look like what a cup team's decor would look like. But in terms of ages and experience and guys who've won, it's almost like the offseason 2 years ago was the trade deadline for a buying team. It's like, hey, let's get the winners here and see how far this can take us. So I don't know. It doesn't really mean anything. It doesn't mean they're going to make the playoffs. It doesn't mean they're going to win in the playoffs. But like a team with this many veteran guys who have won and gone deep in playoffs, it really is what a buying team looks like after they make trades. So that's, I don't know, that just kind of hit me this week, like thinking back on playoff runs and things like that. I don't really know what got me thinking about it, but I hope that makes sense. And people can ask me questions. I'm not guaranteeing the Preds are going to do anything, playoffs, cup, anything like that, but just something that came into my mind.
Yeah, no, it's a very good point, because you do look at the makeup of this team and you do have guys. I mean, Stamkos, Marchessault, they've made cup runs before. Stamkos with 2, Marchessault with 1. And the Preds, you're one point out of a playoff spot right now. And I do wonder, you look at the makeup of this team, like what if the Preds do continue this run into the Olympic break and beyond, and they want to become buyers? I just don't know what you would even really look for. Like, what would that scenario look like? Because yeah, you could use a top 6 center, but there aren't a ton of those that are going to be out there at the trade deadline. This team, the makeup as is, does feel like a team that would be built for the playoffs if they can get there.
Yeah, I mean, I think the person you would have to buy if the Preds do buy, which I still think is unlikely, I think it would have to be someone like Robert Thomas, who would be great for the future too, because you would have to give up some big name prospects to get him. But like someone who would be a first or second line center for you for potentially 7 to 10 years. And then you if you kept everybody, you would put that person as the 1 or 2C. You would make Haula the 3C and figure it out from there.
Right. Right. So I guess that would have to be the plan. Somebody who's not just a rental, but somebody who could be a part of this team long term. Long way to go, though. Preds still have a few games before the Olympic break. And then when they come back, a couple games before the trade deadline. Predators sitting at 52 points. There's a log jam at 53 with Seattle,
Yeah.
San Jose, and Los Angeles in front of them for that final wild card spot. 615-737-1025 is the phone number. If you have questions for Max, he's with us for 30 more minutes. We will continue talking Preds on the other side. A couple of roster changes this past week. And Jonathan Marchessault back in the lineup for a couple of games now, and he had a nice game last night. We'll talk about it next. Jake Lyman, Max Herz, Parker Kelly, next man up, 102.5 The Game. Next man up, 102.5, The Game, Jake Lyman, Max Herz, Parker Kelly. Max with us for the first hour, talking all things Preds. Predators, a comeback win last night, 5-3 over the Ottawa Senators. Tomorrow, taking on the Utah Mammoth in the Ice Age game in what will be a winter wonderland here in Nashville. Maybe not so much for most of us here. Max, a couple of roster moves over the last few days. Ozzy Weisblatt returns to the lineup. Reed Schaefer sent down to Milwaukee. How great is it to have Ozzy back in the lineup? And what do you think Schaefer needs to work on after showing some promise at the NHL level, but obviously still a young guy in this organization?
Yeah, I think very little for Schaefer to work on other than keep playing his game and think about while he's in the A, what matters in the NHL from the AHL perspective. And now he knows. He played 25 games in a row, and Hal Gill always provides great perspective on this because Hal went down. He started with the Bruins. He went down to the AHL team in Providence. He took some lumps there, and in some ways said the AHL was harder than the NHL just because of aspects of what that level is like. And that's what minor league hockey can be. It can be unpredictable. It can be weird. There are fights all over the place. And Schaefer got to the point right before he got called up at Thanksgiving where he had mastered it. He was scoring a goal per game, and that translated well to the NHL. He played a fourth line role. He played a puck possession, chip and chase, work hard below the hash marks role, but also scored some goals. He scored 4 goals and had 6 points in 25 games. That's good for a rookie. So I thought he played his role to a T, and Andrew Brunette said it, and this could have gone without saying. I would have known it without having to hear it from the coach, but Schaefer did not go down because of anything about his play. Ozzy Weisblatt's just ahead of him on the depth chart. Weisblatt made the team ahead of him out of camp. Weisblatt requires waivers to go down, and Schaefer does not. So that's a really easy decision for them for 2 guys who are competing for the same spot. And Ozzy is his own toughest critic, and he doesn't think he's been good enough these 2 games. I think he's brought the energy. I think last night, the shift where he was the absolute wrecking ball and he took the boarding penalty on Nick Cousins. The Preds have made it pretty clear, like from preseason on, Weisblatt took some penalties in preseason. He was running around, and I thought, that might not bode well for him making the team if you're going to the box and putting the team shorthanded. And the coaches didn't see it that way. They thought, even if you take a penalty, you were bringing that energy and you were making a positive impact on the game. And I think last night was another example of that. So that's why Weisblatt plays. That's why he's here. And I would love to go and see why it didn't work out with him for the Sharks, who picked him in the first round and ended up basically just giving him to the Preds for free, first on loan and then eventually in a trade 2 summers ago. But yeah, Weisblatt is a big part of this team. He's a really big part of this team. He is a beloved teammate. I think, honestly, I think he is up there with Ryan O'Reilly for best teammate on the team for what he showed when he was injured. And I think I said it last week with you, Jake, like he was just everywhere.
Yeah, traveling when he wasn't actually with the team.
It was like, yeah, Ozzy's here. It's like, was Ozzy on the plane? Is Ozzy playing tonight? He's here.
I love it. I love it. And that you do need those guys, right? Like it's obviously what you do on the ice is the most important, but having those good locker room guys is great too. And it's good to see Ozzy Weisblatt back in the lineup. Jonathan Marchessault also returning from injury on Saturday, right? Against Vegas was his first game back. So he's had a few games back out there. Last night scored that goal, nice little 2-on-0, kind of, back and forth. They were able to beat the goalie. I know there was a lot of talk about, well, Jonathan Marchessault was out and the Preds were playing their best hockey. Then he comes back and they lose 2 in a row. It's obviously good to have Marchessault back out there on the ice, and he had a nice game last night.
Yeah, I think last night he did his thing, which is all you can really ask for him. And he created a goal, and he had good interplay with Bunting on a 2-on-0. I don't think Bunting knew exactly what was going to happen there, but he did well to get the puck right back to Marchessault. And despite the fact that it wasn't pretty as a 2-on-0 could be, I think they did exactly what you would have wanted them to do on a 2-on-0, and it ended with a goal. So that is exactly what you want it to be. But yeah, I think Marchessault showed better last night. They are about to practice here in about an hour at the arena, and that's why I'm here right now. I'm curious to see what the lines look like if they stick with what they used last night, which had Marchessault taking Weisblatt's spot with McCarron and Smith, and all 3 of the young guys basically didn't play in the third.
Right.
Svechkov and Weisblatt.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I know Andrew Burnett, a lot of decisions to make there in terms of uh, it's tough when the team is playing well, right? You finally have made this run, you're back in playoff contention, but you get a guy like Marchessault back, and yes, it's great to have him back, but also it does lead to some tough decisions with how you're going to plug him in and make the best choices to keep this team playing the way that they have been.
Yeah, and it can, as we saw last night, it can change along the way too. Like we know Marchessault has chemistry with Bunting and Holla, and depending on the game situation and the score, that line can be a fit even for a shift or two at a time. Consistency is obviously better, but based on how the game is going, and last night again, a prime example of this, the coaches had feel for that game. It was not a game that they wanted their young players out there, and you are going to play the young players at some point, but in a tie game, third period, when everybody in your top six is going, you got to lean on those guys. So I thought they did a great job with that. There were a lot of power plays in the game too, so you can get away with a lot of extra ice time for Stamkos, O'Reilly, Forsberg, Evangelista. Yossi played half the game, which 1,000 games. He's been on the ice for basically 500 games of cumulative ice time at this point. So who's surprised? But yeah, the Marchessault on the second power play now, I think is the right decision as well. Evangelista has very much earned the right to stay on the top power play.
615-737-1025 is the phone number. If you have questions for Max, we will get to some of those coming up in our final segment with him. Also, we will look ahead to the week. Tomorrow, Utah in town to wrap up this 3-game homestand, and then an East Coast swing for the Predators. They'll take on Boston, New Jersey, and the New York Islanders next week as we get a little bit closer to the Olympic break coming up in early February. 615-737-1025 is the phone number. One more segment with Max Herz on the other side here on Next Man Up, 1025 The Game. Next man up, 102.5 The Game. Jake Lyman, Max Herz, Parker Kelly. Parker, is this the Wiggles?
I don't know. This was a Max request.
No, this is Ryan O'Reilly. This is the Preds win song.
Oh, okay. I was so confused. I was like, are we playing the Wiggles? I didn't know that fell into the category for Fridays. That is the win song, really.
Yeah, it's better than the Wiggles. Sorry, Wiggles.
Who sings it?
The band is called Mac and Cheese, and Ryan O'Reilly does many of the voices. It's exceptional.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Has this been put out there like on social media? Do we have a video of Ryan O'Reilly doing this?
There is a music video, but it is animated.
Okay.
But they
Gotcha.
stylize him as himself with the missing tooth and
awesome
other aspects.
All right, I will have to check this out. Man, I did not know that was Preds related when I heard it for the first time. Well done, Max.
The song is awesome. Yeah, it's really good. So everybody out there, play it for your kids.
I love it. Preds with it'll be an interesting week again tomorrow. Utah 2:30 puck drop, 1:30 pregame here on 102.5 The Game. And again, Max, plan as of now. Everything going to go off on time. But of course, everybody be safe getting out there to Bridgestone Arena tomorrow because the weather, we still really don't know exactly what we're getting, but likely going to get some inclement weather for this winter storm rolling through. So 2:30 puck drop tomorrow. It's a big one. Utah 4 points ahead of the Preds in the wild card standings, currently in the wild card 1 spot.
Yeah, and the Preds just had a come-from-behind Stamkos-led win in Utah less than a month ago. So similar flavor to last night. You know, the Mammoth are going to take that one personally, and they're playing really well right now. Clayton Keller is on another level. He's getting ready for the Olympics for Team USA when we are going to be getting to root for him. He's a very fun player to root for a lot of reasons, and he's their headliner. We did not see Karel Vejmelka in goal that game, though, in Salt Lake City, and he plays basically every game for them. It was a rare miss for him in goal, and the Preds were able to take advantage of that. Their backup, Vitek Vanacek, played that game. But, yeah, Utah hasn't played since Wednesday, and I don't know. Mammoths are just at home in the ice as the saber-toothed Cats are, so it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, excited for that one. Preds trying to win the homestand, and we've talked about this. Taking 2 out of 3 games. You got a 3-game homestand here, an opportunity to grab another before heading on the road. So that's a big one. Then coming up next week, before we have Max again on Friday, at Boston, at New Jersey as part of a 3-game trip out east. Those are going to be some fun ones as well. You'll actually get to be in the same building I was back on Monday, the Prudential Center on Thursday. I was up there. That's a nice little arena they've got up there in Newark.
I actually am not a fan of it because the hockey press box sucks. But how about those Commodores? What a win that was on Monday. I listened to you for the first quarter, Jake, and then watched TV for the rest of the game. The game was on Fox. I believe it was the first Vanderbilt sporting event ever on Fox.
That sounds about right.
I think it had to have been, unless like March Madness was on Fox at one point, which I don't think it ever was.
Yeah, as far as I've known, it's been CBS. So yeah, you might be right. But yeah, that was a big time game. It had NCAA tournament feel because TCU and Ohio State played before. So 4 of the top 12 teams in the country were all together. It got a little closer than I would have liked, from 19 all the way down to 2 at one point, but Vandy got the win. Still undefeated, beat Auburn last night too, 20-0 on the year.
20, can we make it a hockey record? 20-0-0?
Yeah, we do not have any overtime losses either.
That would be awesome, just a shootout, like one-on-one layup drive.
See, now we're coming up with great ideas here. Just from half court play one-on-one, you've got 15 seconds to score or something like that.
I think Michaela Blakes and Aubrey Galvin would have that covered, and Vandy would win a lot of those.
Yeah, it could be like Vandy could be the Predators of women's basketball shootouts. Don't lose for 3 years. But yeah, those 2 games coming up, and then of course the Islanders later on next weekend for the Predators. It's an important East Coast swing because when you come back, you've got just 3 games left until the Olympic break.
Yeah, and speaking of basketball arenas, the Islanders no longer share with the Nets. That ended a while ago.
Right, yes.
That was one of the NHL's greatest experiments.
Did the Devils share with the Nets for a little bit there too? Back when they were in New Jersey?
Yes. in East Rutherford. They did,
Right.
but neither team plays there anymore.
Gotcha.
The Devils got a new arena in Newark. My New Jersey geography isn't very good, but that's a different place.
Yes, not too far, but yeah, it was right in downtown Newark. I was a little bit worried on Monday that they were going to stick me up in the rafters because I knew that's a hockey thing of like that's where the radio broadcasters sit. But luckily, I was courtside, which was great.
Yeah, well, I think weren't the Sweet 16 and the Elite Eight there last year?
No, they were in.
I think the men's was.
Oh, yes, you might be right.
So
yes.
I mean, they do basketball all the time there. But yeah, that was a great game. You were much better on play-by-play than the TV announcer, who is the Yankees announcer.
Yes, he is. Yeah,
you did great, Jake. I tried to sync it up. I couldn't quite get it to go because I can't afford DVR. But yeah, that's awesome. I haven't been to a game in person yet this year, but I've really enjoyed supporting. And I'll tell you what, the women's games for college basketball are so much more entertaining than the men's games, if nothing else because of the quarters instead of halves. Like the men's games is just free throws for 10 hours. It's honestly awful. Like I like to see basketball happening. So if nothing else, the women get the tiebreaker just because of the format. But yeah, 20-0 helps too.
Yeah, I don't understand, to get off on another tangent, why men's college basketball doesn't adopt the format that everyone else in the entire world uses for basketball of quarters and being able to advance the ball late in games. I think eventually it gets there, but it's like it is funny. The women's game is basically modeled after the NBA and the men's game isn't.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, you should come out to a game. We're on the road for the next two, but next home game, actually, for everyone out there, $1 tickets next Sunday, February 1st. So $1 tickets against Florida. You can come out for basically nothing and come and watch a team that is currently undefeated and top 5 in the country.
Well, is South Carolina this weekend?
It is.
That next
So
weekend?
yeah,
Okay.
with the weather, we're heading up there today and going to take on South Carolina on Sunday. They're coming off a loss, which I guess it's good in some ways. It shows that they can be beaten, but I look back, Dawn Staley has not lost back-to-back games since 2019. So Vandy going to have their work cut out for them. It's one of the toughest places to play in the country, but based on what we've seen so far, 20-0, I think Vandy's going to have as good a shot of anybody to go in there and get a win.
Look, I think South Carolina should be a home underdog in that game when you're going up against 20-0, right? This was me with Jake all Vanderbilt football season, being the cockiest Vanderbilt fan of all time. So now I'm transferring that to women's basketball.
I love it. With the way Vanderbilt athletics are trending, you've got to stick your chest out a little bit as a Vanderbilt alum.
I will admit, Jake, that during the game against Michigan and before it was over, and they almost did not win that game after I did this, but I Googled, where is women's Final Four 2026?
It's in Phoenix.
It is in Phoenix. I was hoping it would be in an NHL city, and it is not. So
not anymore.
Not going to make it.
Yes. The Sweet 16s, I'm trying to think. It's in Fort Worth or Sacramento. So I guess there's a chance maybe if Dallas, Fort Worth, that's pretty much right there. But yeah, not going to be out there in Phoenix. Hopefully the women's team will be, though. And again, Sunday, that's a big one. 2:00 tip-off, 1:45 pregame against number 2 South Carolina. Max, Preds with a big week and maybe a chance next time we talk that they could be in playoff position, but obviously going to have to play some good hockey. Utah, Boston, New Jersey, the next 3.
Yeah, and so much enjoyable stuff to celebrate right now, headlined by Roman Yossi's 1000th game, all these hat tricks. Like, everybody here who works for the Preds does such an amazing job of making every game such a big event, and our fans are the ones who really make that. Like, every game has been sold out. Like, tomorrow is not going to be full because of the weather, but I think every single ticket for that game has been sold, or most of them at least. So it's really special what's going on right now, and it's not a playoff run or anything like that, but it's as fun as the regular season has been here in a long time. So our fans absolutely deserve it. They continue to show up and show out. Every game we got something new going on. And I do want to say one more thing, Jake, which I wanted to say on the post-game show last night, and there was so much going on that I never got the chance to put a bow on Roman Josi and what makes him special. Willie let me know last night that yesterday was 6 months since his wife had passed, since we lost Aaron Donick. And
wow.
I thought it was very fitting that it was a special night for Roman, because Roman was certainly one of Aaron's favorites. And when we had the massive memorial service that over 600 people attended for her in August, Roman was there. And it's the off season. Like, you never know where these guys are going to be, but Roman was there. He was vocal that he was representing the team, and we all got a chance at some point, either at the service, and I didn't get to speak to him at the service, but I went up to him the first chance I got in preseason. I said, look, I know Willie and his family have given you so much thanks, but just on behalf of all of us, it meant the world that you're there and that you guys have our backs. So um, it was a special night for sure. And hey, things like that happen for a reason. Things line up. So only in Smashville. We love the support, and we're having the time of our lives. So thank you to everybody who makes this fun.
Right. Roman Josi, not just one of the greatest Preds of all time, but a great person as well, and really cool stuff there. Roman Josi will be honored tomorrow before the game against Utah for playing in his 1,000th game last night in a 5-3 comeback win against Ottawa. Max, always fun having you on. We'll do it again next week. Travel safe with all of the weather, and hoping next time we talk, Preds have a few more wins under their belt.
Thank you, Jake. Enjoy South Carolina. Bring home a win, and let me know if you see any of the righteous gemstones. They're my favorite South Carolinians.
I will seek them out over the weekend. Max Herz from Preds Radio.
Uncle Baby Billy.
Yes, Baby Billy. One of my favorite shows as well on Max. Max Herz, Preds Radio, joining us as he always does for the first hour of the show. When we come back, Connor Newt will join us. We'll talk plenty of football in the final 2 hours. Titans head coaching search is over. Robert Saleh is the guy, and he has started to work on his staff. We'll dive into that. Also, championship weekend in the NFL. Who's going to Super Bowl 60? All of that coming up. Jake Lyman, Parker Kelly, next man up. 102.5 The Game. Second hour, next man up, 102.5 The Game. Jake Lyman, Connor Newt, Parker Kelly, broadcasting from the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. Always a pleasure having Max Herz on in the first hour. Preds and the Utah Mammoth, the Ice Age game tomorrow, 2:30 puck drop at Bridgestone Arena. But let's get into some football. Connor Newt joins us now. Connor, what's up?
Hello. Just getting ready for the end times.
Snowpocalypse.
Well, this will be my home for the weekend.
Yes. As of now, the plan is that Connor and Frazier will be doing the show on Monday with my travel back from South Carolina. But we will see. No one knows what's going to happen with the weather.
If you watch the weather, it's either we're not getting snow at all or we're going to get 27 inches.
Well, looking at the we've got the weather channel up right here. Oh, no, this is Fox 17. It looks like they're showing that we're pretty much right in the middle of it. So
yeah,
we will see.
We're going to get it.
We won't really know until the precipitation starts later on this evening, but hope everybody out there stays safe this weekend. Ice, snow, whatever it is, not going to be good. Let's get into the Titans here, Connor.
Yippee.
Robert Saleh officially announced as the head coach yesterday after 3 days of waiting to see when we would finally get the tweet. But we got the tweet. We got pictures of Borgonzi and Saleh together. He is officially the Titans head coach, and some moves of his staff have started to come out. And the big one, Bones Fossil, is sticking around. And that is huge. That's what we said throughout the whole search is whoever it is, got to keep Bones Fossil. Great to see that he is going to be sticking around in Nashville.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a very important move. I mean, look at how the special teams has progressed in just a year with him under the tutelage of that role. I mean, you got an all-pro receiver returning your punts and kicks and Jim Radike. You've got just things clicking behind the scenes in special teams that weren't necessarily working before Bones Fossil. So I think you can kind of glaze over this and say, it's just the special teams coach. Maybe he didn't have that high of a market, and that may be true, but at the same time, when you got something good like Bones Fossil, might as well keep it going, right? So I think it's a great move.
That's what TD and I were talking about yesterday is you finally figured special teams out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have numbers to back this up, but I would venture to say the Titans might have been the worst special teams team in the league over about a 10 to 12 year span.
Had to be.
In terms of just never having anything good happen and perpetually fumbling the ball on punts. It felt like the Titans had to have been one of the worst special teams units in the NFL for a long period of time. And this year they were one of the best. You could not let Bones Fossil out the door. Great to see he's going to be back. And at the very least, you look at Robert Saleh, the experience he has as a head coach. A lot to learn from him from his time in New York, but experience as a head coach, experience as a play caller on defense, the offensive coordinator options, which we'll get into, all of those guys seem to have experience. And now you've got Bones Fossil. These guys know what they're doing, which is always great to see.
Can I give you a little bit of breaking news that I'm not sure you hit at the top of the show?
Go ahead.
Per college football analyst Pete Thamel, the college football playoff is staying at 12 teams in 2026.
I did see that.
I didn't think you got to it with
Matthew
Max.
from Nashville texted in and gave me that news, and I did not get into it with Max. So there you go. The college football playoff staying at 12, at least for one more year. I don't know how long that stays, but I think that's the right move.
Yeah, I think it should be the right move. We're going to 16 eventually, but at least it's not the Big Ten proposal of let's do 24 teams. I mean,
24, it's way too much, especially with the schedule the way that it is.
Let's go to 135 or 136. I mean,
apparently you can't play during Army Navy because they're going to get a 4-hour uninterrupted, cannot be.
It's a great game.
So I don't know what they're going to do in the future, but at least for now, going to stay at 12.
Sorry, that was such a segue from
it's okay.
Titans talk. I apologize.
I'm glad you mentioned it because that is something that probably should have been relayed, but talking Preds with Max, we never got to it. But with the Titans, the staff starting to come together, a couple other moves, Titans retaining Luke Stocker, also Tony Oden, who TD talked with us about that he had worked with Robert Saleh in the past, felt like he was going to stick around. And also Randy Jordan, the running backs coach, is going to stick around.
They retained Randy Orton.
Randy Jordan.
That's awesome. Randy Orton is on the Titans staff.
Luke Stalker, Randy Jordan, Tony Oden, all retained by Robert Saleh. So I was a little bit surprised to see the offensive guys already being retained, right? Because you don't know who the offensive coordinator is. So if it is Brian Daboll, if it is Cliff Kingsbury, whoever it is, you would think they would want to be consulted about some of these guys and who they would want on their staff. But I also understand that that might be a process for the Titans. Some of those guys have head coaching opportunities. You don't know how long it'll be until they're officially your offensive coordinator. And you can't really keep your current coaches just held on the line of like, hey, we don't know if you're going to stick around, but you're not allowed to look for another job yet, but you might be fired in the coming days. Like, I think they had to make some of those decisions relatively quickly.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it, especially of what came out yesterday of Nick Holtz isn't going to be retained, Denard Wilson isn't going to be retained. I think the offensive coordinator is kind of hinging on what is Brian Daboll doing.
Yeah.
And the longer this goes on, the less I feel like he's going to become a Titans offensive coordinator.
Really?
Yeah. I just feel the Buffalo job to me comes down to one of two guys, Brian Daboll, or they just go the inside hire and bring up Joe Brady, which I think makes the most sense for them. But I just feel like the longer this goes on, the more they're going to want to talk to, I almost said Vrabel, Daboll. And it's just going to be like the Bills are convincing themselves that Brian Daboll knows Josh Allen the most. He can probably help us out the most.
Well, and Diana Rossini is reporting that Josh Allen is sitting in on every head coaching interview. And wow. I've seen the comparisons of Josh Allen and, Cam Ward saying he wanted to be involved. Josh Allen has more cachet than Cam Ward does. Like, Josh Allen's won an MVP. He's been a couple of minutes away from a Super Bowl at times. So he should be involved. Sitting in on every interview seems to be a little bit extreme.
Let him ask the questions.
Yeah. All right. Terry, Brandon, you guys can leave. This is going to be a one-on-one between Josh and Joe Brady.
What can you do for me? I mean,
it just feels so unnecessary from the Bills. And we talked about this yesterday of Sean McDermott was a good coach.
Right.
Yes, he couldn't get over the hump in the playoffs, but is that all on Sean McDermott?
No.
And you're just going to hire
the quarterback had 4 turnovers.
Right. And that roster was not great. Like, they have had way better rosters during this window for the Bills than they did this year. I get it. You had the opportunity without Mahomes and Burrow and Jackson in the playoffs to go make a run, and you didn't do it. But firing McDermott to either hire his current offensive coordinator or his previous offensive coordinator just feels so unnecessary.
Well, the Bills are currently searching for a scapegoat. It was Sean McDermott. Now it's become Keon Coleman for some reason. Like, did you see the owner basically come out and say, yeah, he sucks. We didn't want to take it.
Well, and
it was a coaching decision.
All the receipts have come out of Brandon Beane raving about Keon Coleman during the draft process of like,
I mean,
oh, he ran a 4.57. That's good. That'll allow us to take him.
They're going to try and shop him, or he'll just outright be cut.
There's just no chance he plays another snap for Buffalo after that.
I mean,
your owner calling him out in a press conference. I mean, I've never seen that before, and there's no way he can stick around. But I lean towards they're going to go a different direction in Buffalo. They could go with Daboll. I feel like that you'd have a hard time selling that to your fans. And I know that's not everything. You got to hire the right guy.
Yeah.
But this dude was just fired for going 20-40 as a head coach. Maybe if you wanted to bring Daboll back as your offensive coordinator, I could get that. But as a head coach, I just don't seem to get it. I think Daboll is one of those guys who may just be a better coordinator than he is a CEO.
There's a weird trend going around the NFL right now. And Daboll's part of it. He's going to take this job if he doesn't get this job.
Right.
Like, look at
Mike
McDaniel. He's going to be the Chargers offensive coordinator if he doesn't get this job. Jesse Minter was the same way. He's going to return to Los Angeles if he doesn't get this job. Obviously, we know he's
not Robert Flores. He's
Brian
Flores.
Robert Flores.
I almost always do that. Robert Flores. Roflo. Brian Flores has a contract extension with the Vikings. unless he gets a head coaching job. So
which I don't
is
think
lot
there's
of
a
that.
massive market on him.
I don't think so either. He's gotten some interviews, but I don't.
There's
believe
too much
he'll go.
baggage that comes with him.
Yeah,
I think the whole lawsuit that comes with him, and
right.
you know, I think he's a good coach. Like you said, I think he's one of those that's better as a coordinator than
I
a head
agree.
coach.
I think eventually he gets another chance, but
Yeah.
every year that you get removed from the lawsuit, I think it gets a little bit more likely that he comes back as a head coach. 615-737-1025 is the phone number if you want to text or call. Our phone line's driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Ben asked, what about Bones? We need him for DK. Oh, we did mention he is coming back. The report from Paul Kaharski yesterday, John Bones Fossil will be retained as the special teams coordinator under Robert Saleh. So a good start to the staff. Offensive coordinator is the big hire, though. And we will talk about that more up next. Brian Daboll, Diana Rossini reporting that if he does not get the Bills head coaching job, likely that he is the offensive coordinator here. But Tom Pelissero also put out a list of other names. We'll talk about those on the other side. Jake Lyman, Connor Newt, Parker Kelly, next man up, 102.5 The Game.
Hot and heavy, starting it off. Love it.
Next man up, 102.5 The Game. Jake Lyman, Connor Newt, Parker Kelly with you. Titans coaching staff being built as we speak. In fact, we just got a report of a defensive coordinator interview request. The Titans have requested to interview Cowboys defensive line coach Aaron Whitecotton for the DC opening. He also interviewed for the Cowboys DC job and was part of Robert Saleh's staff in New York. We're going to get into offensive coordinator stuff. I will say this again about the DC job. I do not care who it is.
It is not important to me.
I mean, I'm sure they're going to hire somebody that Robert Saleh trusts to be his number 2 on defense. But if Robert Saleh is calling the plays, it's like Nick Holtz. What do you do here?
I think it'll be a little bit more important of a role than Nick Holtz. I mean, Nick Holtz's only job was to get Brian Callahan his coffee in the morning and, do his dry cleaning, kind of like what Parker does for George. But I'm sorry, that was such an unfair stray, but it was still
wow.
funny.
I didn't realize that was what we were on today,
Man,
Connor.
just
I'm
throwing
sorry.
that out of nowhere.
I'm sorry. I have to get all my energy out because the snow has got me all worked up. So if I unfairly stray you, I apologize. But I mean, I think it'll be a little bit more important of a job than Nick Holtz had. But at the same time, I think we already know who it's going to be. They act like it's going to be the linebackers coach from the 49ers, which fine by me. I'm more focused on the offensive coordinator.
Right.
Because at this point, you've got your head coach and you've got your head coach of the defense. Now you got to hire your offensive coordinator, who's essentially going to be the head coach of your offense.
Yeah, and the Titans have already started to work on that process. Brian Daboll is the name that everybody's pointing to because Diana Rossini put out the other day that if he is not the head coach of the Bills, very likely he is the offensive coordinator for the Titans. But Tom Pelissero did tweet yesterday morning, the Titans continue to work through offensive coordinator options, mentions Daboll, but also Cliff Kingsbury, Arthur Smith, Adam Stenovich, and Bobby Slowick among potential options. All have OC experience as Robert Saleh looks for the right man to work with Cam Ward. I really don't have an issue with any of those 5 names.
No, I mean, Bobby Slowick is the one that sticks out to me. He was really, really good his first year with Houston.
Yeah.
And then apparently was so bad his second year, he just got shadow banned from the NFL. So I think he's like an offensive analyst for the Dolphins.
Yeah,
now.
he was on Mike McDaniel's staff.
Yes. I would like him here. I think that would make sense. I mean, obviously, my number 1 choice right now is Brian Daboll. I think that's everyone's number 1 choice, just because it's the guy you think you could be most effective and a guy that has experience developing a quarterback.
Right.
But some of those guys make sense to me. Like, I like Bobby Slowick. He's a main reason that C.J. Stroud had success his first couple of years in the NFL, and now you're seeing life without him in Houston. So I like him. Who are the other ones you mentioned?
Adam Stenovich.
Okay.
And
Where's he from?
Green Bay.
Oh, okay.
He's worked with Jordan Love,
Yep.
Malik Willis, Cliff Kingsbury.
I don't like him.
Really?
I do not like him.
I would be okay with Cliff Kingsbury.
Really?
I think the work he did with Jaden Daniels last year makes you feel pretty decent about his ability to develop a young quarterback. It's similar with Slowick, right? Like very good rookie seasons with these quarterbacks. They took a step back. You want to know why. And with Slowick specifically, Robert Saleh is going to know exactly what happened with Bobby Slowick. First of all, they know each other. Second of all, D'Amico Ryans is the one who fired Bobby Slowick. And I'm sure Robert Saleh has a pretty direct line of access to D'Amico Ryans of, hey, why did you fire Bobby Slowick?
Yeah, you probably call him right now. Yo, D'Amico, why'd you fire him?
I would think D'Amico would be, I'm sure they're friends, but how funny would it be if D'Amico just completely led Robert Saleh astray? It's like, oh no, we fired Bobby.
Listen.
I didn't want to. I was forced to. He's awesome, even though they think he's horrible.
I want the AFC South coaches to just fight each other. I mean, we're already getting Robert Saleh versus Liam Cohen twice a year, which is going to be fantastic content, twice in a lifetime. D'Amico Ryans versus Robert Saleh, and then Shane Steichen versus Robert Saleh, 2 coaches that met in the NFC Championship.
I love it. I mean, getting Liam Cohen versus Robert Saleh twice a year might be the best part of this hire.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
and look, I hate Liam Cohen. He left my Cats. He was a snake. And he left them for the Rams, and then left the Rams for the Bucks, and then left the Bucks for, or he acted like he was coming back to the Bucks, and then left them overnight for the Jags. He's like Diet Lane Kiffin.
I cannot wait for that first matchup. And like Max was saying in the first hour, put it on Thursday Night Football. Bring the Color Rush uniforms back. And
God, we get to watch those horrible mustard uniforms.
let Liam Cohen and Robert Saleh go at it. I mean, the sequence after that game, Liam Cohen gave Robert Saleh the Will Smith, keep my name out your mouth.
Yeah, as he was running away.
We cannot repeat what Robert Saleh told him, but it was very, very funny.
Apparently, the Titans might be getting new uniforms this year.
We're going to talk about that later on. Because I do wonder about that. But we will continue on the coaching staff here. Kingsbury and Slowick, I put them in kind of a similar bin. They developed a quarterback. The quarterback took a little bit of a step back in year 2 under them. Why? Daboll, I think, is my number 1.
Right.
I like Stenovich, too. The one guy out of that list that I do worry about is Arthur Smith.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like Art, right? Like,
Who doesn't?
I think he's a great guy. Love what he did for the Titans back when he was an offensive coordinator, worked his way up from, quality control coach all the way to a head coach in the NFL. But what quarterbacks has he developed? When has he been a significant part of a young quarterback getting better?
I don't really think he's had the opportunity. I mean,
no, I agree.
Desmond Ridder was never going to be an NFL quarterback. I mean, he had Marcus, who we already knew what he was at that point. Kirk Cousins had come in after he had gone. Who am I missing here? There was
Heineke.
Heineke, we already know what he is. He's just a backup. And then over in Pittsburgh, you had Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers. You know what all of those guys are.
And I agree. He never worked with a young quarterback outside of Ridder. And Ridder didn't get better, but as we've seen, Desmond Ridder just might not be very good.
Yeah.
I still would hesitate to hire Arthur Smith because he doesn't have that experience. It's not his fault that he hasn't really had an opportunity to work with a promising young quarterback, but he still hasn't done it. I would trust Brian Daboll more. I would trust Cliff Kingsbury more. I would trust Bobby Slowick more to work with that guy and develop him.
I think I would trust Art more than Kingsbury.
Really?
I mean, the knock on Art is, or maybe the praise on Art is the familiarity. I feel comfortable with that style of offense, and I think Cam Ward would actually thrive in that situation. Especially, I think you would get the most out of your tight ends. We know that about Arthur Smith. He likes to bring out the third string tight ends.
Jonnu Smith and Tyler Algier buy houses in Nashville.
That's a group for the Titans that I think has actually a little bit of depth. I like Jig Okonkwo, and I think he's going to find himself back here next year. Whether that's a franchise tag or they, offer him a deal. I think tag would probably make the most sense. Gunnar Helm, I think, would thrive in an Arthur Smith offense. I think he's the kind of player that makes sense for Arthur Smith. He's capable of blocking. He's capable of running the red zone plays. He's capable of making contact with the defense. That's the kind of guy that I think Arthur Smith likes to use. And I think that's the kind of guy that would thrive in that situation.
If I had to rank those 5 options, I would go, and TD did this yesterday. He actually had Cliff Kingsbury number 1.
Really?
I will go.
Am I just a Cliff Kingsbury hater? Am I the only one?
I think
I don't like him either.
He's a polarizing guy, right? Like, I think it's either you love him or you hate him. I'm going to go Daboll number 1. The middle 3 are tough. Smith is number 5 for me, and it's nothing to do with Art. It's just the experience developing a quarterback. I want somebody who's done it before, and there's proof of concept there.
Yeah,
and
that's fair.
The middle 3, I'll go Slowick, Kingsbury, Stenovich, but they're very close together. There's not a whole lot of separation.
Yeah, Stenovich is interesting to me because
he didn't call plays,
right?
But
I don't know if I feel good about hiring a non-play calling offensive coordinator.
Right. I mean, it's like you're
We've
taking
done that
a chance
experience
what
before.
you did with Matt LaFleur coming from the Rams. So we will see. Titans working through it. Daboll, I think, is the most likely option, but we will see how the Titans are able to sort through on the offensive staff. 615-737-1025 is the phone number. Let's go to our phone lines. Dr. Locke has called in. Thanks for calling. Go ahead.
What's up, fellas? First and foremost, man, be safe with the storm coming in. You guys don't kill yourself on the roads or anything.
You too.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm hoping. I'm in the car dealership, so owners in the car business are ridiculous. They're dead set. We're going to sell 15, 20 cars tomorrow. Good luck. But what was I going to say? Hey, congratulations, man! You guys know your stuff on football. I'll give you that. I mean, I'm a absolute college and NFL junkie, and you guys know it, man. You guys were on Dable about a week and a half ago, so kudos to you. So you guys were calling that. So, Robert Saleh was my guy, so I'm kind of happy that we got Saleh. That was the guy I thought we could afford. We should go after, and I felt like we shouldn't even have messed around with Harbaugh. We should have just gone for if he was our guy, we should have just got him. Nonetheless, we got him anyway. So what I don't want to see happen is, we all know I'm an Ohio State fan, but I watched a lot of Nagy with Chicago in the Chicago Bears. Watched a lot of game film. I was at a lot of bars looking up, trying to keep track of Justin Fields. And I was like, good God, man, Fields doesn't have a chance. All Nagy does is run on first down, run on second down. Fields is 3rd and 13, and then it's like turn him loose and hope he gets the first down on 3rd and 13. Justin Fields was absolutely not given a chance by terrible play calling under Nagy. So give me Arthur Smith, give me Dayball. I don't know much about Dayball. You guys seem to like him, but don't give me Nagy. And other than that, who do you guys got on Sunday?
Yeah, thanks for the call, Dr. Locke. Nagy has not been mentioned as a possible offensive coordinator, so I think that's good.
Speaking of Nagy, the Chiefs just put out "Thank you, Matt Nagy."
Well, yeah, he's
gone.
They've said he's gone.
They have hired Mark Henry.
He wants to go be either a head coach or a play calling offensive coordinator. So I know he's gone, but the fact that he hasn't been mentioned here, I think, is a good thing.
That's a tough situation for him.
Right.
Because Kansas City already got his replacement.
Eric,
Well,
Thinking he was going to get a head coaching job.
I think he told them that I don't want to be an Andy Reid shadow anymore. So I think he always planned to leave, whether it was a head coaching job or an offensive coordinator job. With Brian Daboll, the one thing I love, and it's the Josh Allen experience, that he took a guy who struggled with doing the little things as a quarterback. You knew he had the ability to make the big plays, just like Cam Ward. The flashy, ridiculous plays that not a lot of people can make. Cam Ward can do it. Josh Allen could do it. It was being a consistent quarterback that Josh Allen struggled with. Couldn't complete a lot of passes. Brian Daboll developed him into an MVP. So I think Daboll would be good. 0989 asked, did I hear right? If Mike McDaniel doesn't get the Bills job, he'll be our OC. No, Brian Daboll. If Brian Daboll does not get the Bills job, it's likely he is going to be our OC. Mike McDaniel will be the Chargers OC if he does not get a head coaching job.
Who's going to get a head coaching job first, or even an offensive coordinator job? Matt Nagy or Brian Callahan?
Well, Callahan was supposed to interview with the Bucs, I guess, but they just hired Zach Robinson.
The Bengals guy?
No, the Falcons offensive coordinator. So we'll see if Callahan gets another job. But yeah, both of those guys still.
Well, he was interviewing for the Chargers job too, and I mean, he's probably praying Mike McDaniel gets a job.
Yeah, that is true. Opens up another opportunity,
so he can be second choice instead of third.
And Caleb on the YouTube chat asks, who will be retained? Sorry, I missed that. Bones Fossil being retained as the special teams coordinator. Nick Holes and Denard Wilson not being brought back as coordinators on offense and defense. Position coaches Luke Stalker, Tony Oden, and Randy Jordan. Tight ends, defensive backs, running backs, respectively, all being retained for the Titans, according to Paul Kaharski. 615-737-1025 is the phone number. More Titans talk on the other side. For the Titans, the first unofficial week of the Robert Saleh era is in the books. How are we feeling about it? I think there was a lot of rash reactions after it happened, some good, some bad. As you've had a chance to sleep on it, get a few days under your belt, how do we feel about the Robert Saleh era as we end the first week? 615-737-1025. Jake Lyman, Connor Newt, Parker Kelly, next man up, 1025 The Game. Next man up, 102.5 The Game, Jake Lyman, Connor Newt, Parker Kelly. We're sticking on the Titans here, but we do have some developing news from Adam Schefter at ESPN. The Buffalo Bills are interviewing former Colts and Chargers quarterback and current St. Michael Catholic High School coach Philip Rivers for their head coaching job today.
Brilliant. Just brilliant. Can we get Philip Rivers as head coach with Brian Callahan as offensive coordinator?
The Philip Rivers biopic just got a whole new third act.
I mean, the 30 for 30 is going to be ridiculous.
Not only did Philip Rivers return to play after 5 years away from football, just 2 months later, he became the head coach of the Buffalo Bills.
We've gone from 6 episodes in the docuseries to 10.
Right. No, I agree. Philip Rivers just continues to add to his biography. Also, Jeremy Fowler, we were just talking about the Titans' offensive staff options. Jeremy Fowler says the Titans have spoken to Steelers offensive coordinator Arthur Smith about their offensive coordinator position. So not really breaking news there, but
I'm surprised he's not getting more head coaching interest.
He did get at least one more interview, I want to say.
Yeah.
Other than the Titans.
But I understand it because the top jobs are kind of closing now. The Bills are open, obviously.
Yeah.
The Steelers are still open. The Ravens are gone. Apparently, no one wants the Browns job, which is hilarious.
All of the Browns candidates outside of like Jim Schwartz and a couple others are saying, yeah, thanks. No, thanks.
It will be Jim Schwartz. I will tell you that much. That's what I think. The Raiders is a job you don't hear anything about, it seems like.
I have not heard a single thing. Fernando Mendoza did just declare for the draft, so
that's probably the number one pick.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the Raiders might be waiting for somebody who's still coaching.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, maybe Kubiak,
Shula,
yeah,
Vance Joseph. Those guys are all still coaching.
TD loves Vance Joseph.
Davis Webb. That could be. I mean, he's only 30, but there's been rumors.
The Broncos.
David Blau, the new OC for the Commanders.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
That's what, 2 years removed from when he was on Hard Knocks with the Lions. So, yeah, there's still a lot of dominoes to fall. But Philip Rivers interviewing.
I want Philip Rivers as head coach with Brian Callahan as offensive coordinator and Shane Bowen as the DC.
Wow.
I think that'd be an elite staff.
What a staff.
That'd get a lot
That's
done.
Getting the Bills to the Super Bowl. That's for sure. I asked the question heading into the break. We're now 4 days removed from the announcement that Robert Saleh is the head coach. And on Tuesday morning, we got a lot of polarizing feedback. Lots of people loved the hire. Maybe just because it wasn't Matt Nagy. Lots of people really didn't like the hire because of the 20-36 record. Not that we've learned a whole lot, but I think the staff moves, the common sense decisions are making me feel better about it. I thought it was a fine hire off the bat. I'm feeling better about it. I'm really excited for this introductory press conference, and I hate that we have to wait till Wednesday, but I think with the weather, and I saw a report that Robert Saleh had some family stuff going on that he
wants like all eight of his kids to be there.
He wants all of his kids to be there. I mean, if that's a requirement for being a head coach, then Philip Rivers will be a shoo-in in Buffalo.
All 19 of my kids must be here.
But Robert Saleh not being introduced until Wednesday at 2, I think is the report that Jim Wyatt put out there. So we still got a while. I'm really excited to hear what he has to say specifically about Cam Ward, because all of the reporting from Albert Breer and others around the process was Robert Saleh blew everyone away with his interview, and a lot of it had to do with a detailed plan for Cam Ward. I'm sure he's not going to come out and spell out every single step that he did in the interview in his press conference.
Here's what we're going to do, guys.
But if this team wants to be good, Cam Ward has to be the guy. And I want to know what Robert Saleh, as a defensive head coach, what is the plan? There was talk about a succession plan if his original offensive coordinator gets another job. I want to know what that is and how they believe they can develop Cam Ward into a franchise quarterback.
Listen, Nick Frazier and I, Weekend Huddle was a Robert Saleh program. We were the two peddling this.
I will say you guys were on Saleh ahead of most people. Big Joe was a big Saleh guy too.
Yeah. And so was Rexrode, but Rexrode like flipped every time. Like, I'm actually more of a Stefanski guy. Now I'm more of a Mike McDaniel guy. And I was like, Rexy, you got to pick one.
Saleh was always my like third or fourth favorite guy.
Yeah.
Like he was never up there at the top for me, but I I was always okay with Robert Saleh.
He was probably the top for me because I didn't think Harbaugh was realistic. I like him more than Stefanski just because I think Stefanski's kind of a difficult person to deal with off the field. I don't know him personally, but he was always probably the top candidate for me. So look, I'm thrilled that he's here on paper, at least.
You and Christian Skelton, I saw your tweets back and forth about Robert Saleh.
Robert Saleh FC. And, I'm thrilled. I think from a detailed perspective, I like the hire more and more because I like what he provides to the defense. Obviously, Jeff Simmons likes what he provides to the defense. I like the idea of, I think this kind of solidifies what we're going to do in the first round of the draft. I like the idea of flipping from a 3-4 to a 4-3, especially if they draft Ruben Bain, because
I was about to say
that a 4-3 will give Ruben Bain off the end a lot more one-on-one opportunities to get to the quarterback. And I think those are the situations he absolutely thrives in. A 4-3 in the NFL just works a lot better, in my opinion. You have more opportunities to get to the quarterback. And if you have a good secondary, you honestly don't even need as good of a secondary because it's all about pressuring the quarterback, all about stopping the run, all about the battle in the front line. So I like the idea of a new defensive system. That said, like, the defensive coordinator hire, I don't really care because we don't know exactly what they're going to do. It's about getting the offensive hire right.
Right.
And that's what Robert Saleh is here to do. And obviously, I think he has a detailed plan. I'm wondering if that plan involved Mike McDaniel and, things just kind of fell through. I think Brian Daboll is probably the next best option. But what that tells me is he's looking for someone with experience in developing a quarterback.
Yep.
He's looking for someone that's capable of carrying an offensive load in the play calling up in the booth. So I like the idea that he's taking this leadership role and only a few days in kind of running with it.
I've liked what we've seen from Robert Saleh so far. I think he's retained the right people, right? Like, you wanted Bones Fossil back. Great. Luke Stalker was viewed as an up-and-comer as the tight ends coach. You're keeping him. I think he's making the right decision so far. It's a long way to go. And I know I say I want to hear the plan. Yeah, hearing the plan is one thing. He's got to execute it too.
Right.
To get Cam Ward.
Right. We don't know anything right now.
Right.
He could come in and be out in 2 years. And I'm not trying to scare anyone.
Right.
It's a realistic possibility.
No one knows what's going to happen.
This is life in the NFL. Let's not play revisionist history.
Most of us love Brian Callahan.
Exactly. Contrary to what Big Joe says.
Yeah, most people thought Brian Callahan was the perfect hire at that point.
Myself included.
It didn't work out. Opposite for Mike Vrabel. A lot of questions of Mike Vrabel was the defensive coordinator for 1 year of a team that finished 32nd in team defense. Why would you hire him? He came in, he was a pretty good head coach. So I agree. What we think now, we have no idea what's going to happen. But
all we can talk about is on paper right now.
Right.
And on paper, I like it.
We'll hear from Robert Saleh on Wednesday. You mentioned the moving to the 4-3. Obviously, the offseason, there's a long way to go, but a front seven, and actually, I do know Robert Saleh plays a lot of nickel, but a front seven in a base set of Ruben Bain, Tavondre Sweat, Jeff Simmons, Femi Oladejo up front, and then James Williams, Cedric Gray, Cody Barton as your linebackers. That sounds pretty good to me.
I like
next
that.
year. And maybe you can upgrade some of those spots as well at the outside linebacker spots, but I like the way that sounds right now.
Over the course of the college football playoff, I have progressed from an Arvell Reese fan. Now I think I'm more Team Bain, just because I think he fits well, especially with the 4-3 and the Saleh. I like David Bailey too. I think that would work out well, but Ruben Bain is probably my number one.
TD and I talked yesterday. Bain and Bailey, I think, those are the most likely picks at number 4. Yeah. And guess what? You get to see both of them at the Senior Bowl next week.
Yes, you do.
So,
which is no longer the Reese's Senior Bowl, I learned.
It is the Panini Senior Bowl, apparently.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that'll be next week during the press conference, I guess. So Robert Saleh, Mike Borgonzi probably won't be down there, but the Titans will have people down there from the personnel side. 615-737-1025 is the phone number if you want to text or call. Our phone line is driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Wes from Hermitage says, if you want to know how Robert Saleh feels about Cam Ward, all you have to do is listen to his presser after the 49ers played the Titans. He was interviewing at that point and knew it. I know how he feels about Cam Ward. I want to know his plan for Cam Ward.
I mean, the reports have come out, and we'll never know this for sure because I'm sure he'll say this in the press conference. But, this was his number one job. It sounds like he wanted to be here.
Yep.
So I give credit to him. And I wouldn't say this was an unattractive job either. You've got the right things. You've got salary cap. You've got picks. You've got a young quarterback you think you like. So I wouldn't say this is an unattractive job. It's just nice to get traction from a top guy.
Yeah.
And look, he wasn't the top of the top. He wasn't John Harbaugh or Kevin Stefanski or even Sean McDermott. I almost said Sean McDonough, but he was still a well-respected defensive coordinator in this league that was bound to get a head coaching job elsewhere.
Yep.
If he didn't come here, it was probably going to be Arizona, which is another place we haven't heard anything about.
Right. I think the Cardinals might have had all their eggs in the Robert Saleh basket, and now them and the Browns.
A second gift from the Arizona Cardinals.
Them, the Browns and the Raiders. There's just not a whole lot of smoke around what they're going to do. So we will see. 615-737-1025 is the phone number. You can text or call our phone lines driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. We'll wrap up hour number 2 on the other side. Still to come on the program, we will get into conference championship weekend. The Jarrett Stidham-led Broncos and the Mike Vrabel-led Patriots squaring off in the AFC Championship. Rams-Seahawks in an NFC West, the finale of their trio of games this year. That is coming up as well. Jake Lyman, Connor Newt, Parker Kelly, next man up, 102.5 The Game.
Oh, Ellie Goulding.
A little bit of a throwback here.
Well done. This is like straight 2012.
Yeah.
Around that period.
Somewhere around there,
Yeah.
early 2010s. Next man up, 102.5 The Game, Jake Lyman, Connor Newt, Parker Kelly, with you on this Friday morning. Wrapping up hour number 2. I don't know how I missed this earlier. Josina Anderson did tweet earlier this morning. Chicago Bears defensive backs and pass game coordinator Al Harris scheduled to interview with the Titans on Saturday, I would assume, for the defensive coordinator position. So there is number 2 for the DC candidates for the Titans.
In the words of former Pittsburgh Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin, we do not care.
Yeah, I mean,
there is some interest there, but
I don't want them to hire just somebody for
Phillip
no
Rivers.
reason, but a Phillip Rivers like hire.
There is some news from Adam Schefter here.
Oh,
The Eagles have interviewed Dolphins senior passing game coordinator Bobby Slowick for their offensive coordinator job.
yeah, and it's funny. No one seems to want to take that job either.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't.
Can you blame him?
No,
Jalen Hurts has had 10 offensive coordinators since his time at Alabama.
Right,
They just recycle through him up there.
And the chaos with A.J. Brown, who I don't even know if he's on the team next year. It's
there's no chance he's on the team next year.
But yeah, there's some jobs out there that candidates are telling you how they feel by not taking it. Brian Daboll basically saying, I'd rather work with Cam Ward than Jalen Hurts. So we will see. Wes and Clarksville talking about the Phillip Rivers interview. Yeah, we saw that Phillip Rivers interviewing for the Bills head coach job today. You would guess that's just a quote unquote fact-finding mission?
Has to be. I told you in the break, I wonder if that's a Josh Allen thing.
Right.
I want to see what he's capable of.
I don't understand what the intrigue would be there, but
maybe he admired him as a quarterback and thinks he could help attribute some of the skills he had to Josh Allen, but I think that would be a disaster hire. For
yeah, I don't know how that works out.
He has no NFL coaching experience whatsoever. I mean, his best coaching experience was he's been coaching 5 years at high school, which,
right?
Good on him. But usually those kind of guys don't just shoot up straight to the majors. It's kind of like Tony Vitello on a lesser level,
right?
Like that's never happened before. That a college head coach just shoots straight to the majors as a manager.
Right. It would be a very unconventional hire.
Right. But it's not going to be him.
I doubt it. I really, really doubt it, but he is interviewing today. Kyle makes a good point on the text line. Maybe the Bears coach, Al Harris, who we just mentioned, wants to bring KB back. Kevin Byard is an unrestricted free agent at the end of this year.
Oh, he is. I'd cry happiness.
I would be so happy to bring the mayor of Murfreesboro back. Even though you don't really need a safety, it would be really fun to have him back. And you can run out. I mean, Kevin Winston could be kind of your big nickel, and then you have Hook and Byard as your safeties again. I don't know what you do with Xavier Woods.
I mean,
but
Hook has always been more of a strong safety type to me. Like when Hook was the strong safety and KB was the free safety, it just worked. And obviously, since KB got traded, Hook has kind of moved to the free safety side of things. He even played nickel this year because of just their depth issues. But I think moving forward, you'd probably look. Kevin Byard led the NFL in interceptions this year, and look, he's playing great football. I don't know how much more sustainability he has. I mean, he's in his early 30s, and that's a position that doesn't have a super long timeline of longevity, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I would love KB back here just for sentimental value. One of my favorite Titans ever. A local guy.
agreed.
Played at my high school, my college. It would, for sentimental value, it'd be fantastic to have him back.
Right.
But how much of that makes sense for the Titans, I'm not sure.
Yeah, he signed a 2-year, $15 million deal with the Bears ahead of the 2024 season. So you're right. Like, it probably wouldn't cost you a ton, but he is 33. I would like it. And if you bring Harris back, maybe there's a chance KB will return with him. So
That'd be great.
that would be cool.
I'd love it.
Before we wrap up hour number 2, we are going to get into the AFC and NFC championship games. I do just want to shout out again, Vandy women's basketball,
There you go.
20-0.
Unreal.
One of 2 remaining undefeated teams, only with the number 1 UConn Huskies, and a huge game coming up this weekend. South Carolina. This is one of those where Vandy could elevate into a different stratosphere. Like right now, they're being talked about as, all right, this is a top 10 team. Maybe you're a Sweet 16, Elite 8 team. You go into Colonial Life Arena in Columbia and beat South Carolina, you're a Final Four contender.
Yeah. It's going to be an uphill climb, and I think you know that, and I think they know that.
It's the toughest place in the country to play.
That and South Carolina is coming off a loss last night. They lost by 12 to Oklahoma.
In overtime,
In overtime. They're going to be pissed. I'm just going to tell you that.
Right.
Dawn Staley hasn't lost back-to-back games since 2019, I think. So It's been 7 years of her just, if she loses, which isn't very often, she doesn't lose again. So she's a great coach. But to play devil's advocate here, this isn't the South Carolina we're used to seeing.
No, they're not quite as deep as they have been.
Right.
Which is good. But they're still... It's loaded with McDonald's All-Americans. They all play exactly as Dawn Staley needs them to play. Like, I always look at LSU and South Carolina. They're equally talented, but South Carolina is a team, and they play together. It's not going to be easy, but Vandy it's an opportunity for Vanderbilt at this point. You're 20-0. You've stacked wins. You've got 2 top 10 wins already this season. Now you've got the opportunity to go out there and cement yourself as a possible 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. If you lose, obviously you want to win every game, but
it's a respectable loss.
You've already won 20 straight games.
Yeah.
You're playing with house money heading into this one. So I hope Vandy goes in there, plays free. It's a really tough place to play. I'm wondering if the weather maybe tones the crowd down a little bit. Right. That would be helpful. But we'll see. Vandy trying to stay undefeated on the road again at South Carolina. This is the toughest game played so far this year, and I'm excited for it. It is on ESPN if you want to watch it. If you want to listen, 2:00 tip-off, 1:45 pregame on 94.9 The Fan.
Oh, yeah. Look, I've told you this before. I love women's college basketball. It's one of my favorites. I love college basketball in general, but the women's game this year in the SEC is some of the most fun basketball I've watched in a while. I mean, normally the SEC is those top 3.
Yeah.
Now top 3. LSU, South Carolina, and now Texas. This year, I think it's still those 3. But you and I have talked about this before. There's that second tier that's a lot closer to the first tier than it has been in years past. And that's Vanderbilt and Oklahoma and Tennessee and Kentucky.
Yep.
They're all a lot closer. Some of those teams beat the teams in tier 1. Kentucky beat LSU.
Right.
Oklahoma just beat South Carolina last night. Texas lost on the road to,
LSU and South Carolina.
Yeah. So I don't think it's as deep as the men's league was last year, but it's pretty close. But it's a lot of fun.
The top 6, 7, 8 teams at the top of that conference, yes, I agree with you. LSU, South Carolina, Texas they're the top tier, but it's not that much of a gap between that and the next 5. So I'm excited for Sunday. I think it's going to be a ton of fun, and Vandy looking for another marquee win. And right now, the bracketology was just released by ESPN this morning. Vandy still is the top 2 seed. You win that game, you will be listed as a 1 seed next week, which is really cool to say the way the Commodores have played.
That's exciting.
615-737-1025 is the phone number. If you want to text or call, our phone line's driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. When we come back, it is championship weekend. Who is going to the Super Bowl in Santa Clara? Patriots, Broncos, Seahawks, Rams. We will talk about it coming up next. Jake Lyman, Connor Newt, Parker Kelly, next man up, 102.5 The Game. Next man up, 102.5 The Game, hour number 3 on this Friday. Jake Lyman, Connor Newt, Parker Kelly, broadcasting live from the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville Studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. Final hour of the show. Let's get into conference championship games, AFC and NFC. I'm going to change the channel here.
Please do. Yep. Don't turn to Fox 17. We love Fox 17, but Drew Barrymore is,
there's
got Thunder Down Under.
I don't know what's going on up there, but yeah, we're gonna put on the Pat McAfee show here in studio. We've got Broncos Patriots. The more things change, the more they stay the same. It felt like that was the AFC Championship for about 5 years straight when Peyton and Tom were there. Now we've got the new era of elite quarterbacks.
A quarter
in the
matchup
AFC.
of equal elitism.
Drake May, Jarrett Stidham.
I mean, it doesn't get better than that, does it?
Do you think the Broncos have a shot at this one?
Yes.
I agree. I think that defense can do enough
Precisely
to keep them in the game. If they want to win it, the defense has to score. That's what I'm going to go with that. The defense can keep them in it. If they want to win, you need a pick six. You need a scoop and score. You need something.
And I think that's a defense that's capable of doing that. Now, you're going to have to run the ball a lot, too, because Jarrett Stidham is not the kind of quarterback you want to have throw the ball 25, 30 times a game. I don't think they really did that with Bo Nix either, but that Broncos offense, it looked impressive against the Bills the other day. Of course, Bo Nix was under the center, but that's just an offense that you don't know what you're going to get out of. 1 week, they may score 10 points. The next week, they could score 42. You never know. So I'm curious how much of a step back, or if they take a step back with Jarrett Stidham under center. I'm going to say something that's probably going to make some Titans fans mad. I'm pulling for New England here. I do not want to watch Jarrett Stidham in a Super Bowl.
That's fair. That's a very fair point that in terms of entertainment value, the Super Bowl will be better if it's Mike Vrabel and Drake May. I don't know if I can bring myself to do that and root for Mike Vrabel.
Now, if Vrabel makes the Super Bowl, I'll absolutely be for the NFC champion.
I will say this. I think the NFC champ is winning.
I do too.
I think winner of Seahawks Rams is going to win the Super Bowl.
I agree.
The Patriots are good. I don't want to take anything away from them, but that team is not a Super Bowl team. And upsets happen all the time. It's the NFL. They could totally win. But when you look at teams that have a Super Bowl roster right now, the Patriots are close. I don't think they're there. I think their window's just opening. I think the NFC champion wins the Super Bowl. This game has a little bit of a feel of that. Was it 2017, the Nick Foles year?
Yeah.
It has a little bit of that to it of everybody's writing the Broncos off because it's their backup quarterback. The Eagles spanked the Vikings in that NFC championship game at home. I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any means, but I do think the Broncos have a decent chance in this one. The defense has to be what they've been all year. Dominant. Bonito, Surtain, Hufanga, the linebackers played great in that game against the Bills, forced a couple of fumbles. Singleton, they've got to play elite defense if they're going to win. But I think the Broncos have a shot in this one.
That's their saving grace. It's the defense. You've got to force Drake May to make a mistake because this is the biggest stage he's ever been on. I don't take Drake May as the kind of guy to let pressure get to his head or make crucial mistakes when the moment gets tough, but you got to factor in he's never been on a stage this big. This is the AFC Championship. You win this, you're going to the Super Bowl, which is the biggest game on the planet in the history of sports. So the defense, I think, needs to make Drake May make a mistake or make someone make a mistake. Like you said, you need points off of the defense. You need a pick six or a strip sack or a fumble recovery return to the end zone, or even on special teams, make something happen there. But I think that's the only chance that the Broncos have. I think it's a maybe not a high chance, but it's a capable chance that they have. We know the kind of defense they have. We saw them week one.
Yep. So
they've only improved from there. I feel like New England is going to win this one, but I think it's going to be closer than a lot of people think. I think home field will factor into it a lot. You're playing in Mile High, which I will continue to call it Mile High no matter what.
What is it actually called now? And
who cares? It's Mile High.
It starts with an E or something
Empower
like that.
Field?
Yeah.
Which I don't really care. You know what I realized thinking about this last night? 3 of the 4 possible Super Bowl matchups are rematches in the last like 15 years.
I was about to say that because Nevada Josh texted in rematch Seahawks and Pats in the Super Bowl. Patriots Rams has happened twice in the last 25
Broncos
years.
and Seahawks happened.
Broncos Seahawks, we got that blowout with Manning versus the Legion of Boom.
Yep.
And then, of course, Seahawks Patriots, Malcolm Butler. The only one that would be new would be Broncos and Rams.
I did research to see if the Rams ever played, the Broncos with Elway versus Warner. Never happened.
Yeah, Elway beat the Falcons in one of his Super Bowls.
They won back-to-back. I think that was 97.
It was like late 90s. Blanking on who they beat in the other one. Anyway, Patriots, Broncos, Sunday, Mile High, Denver, Jarrett Stidham versus Drake May. And, of course, the vested interest that Titans fans have is Mike Vrabel really going to go to the Super Bowl in year 1 with the Patriots? And all year, I didn't believe it. I thought, the schedule's soft. Eventually, they're going to run into a team that is better than them, has a better quarterback than them. Drake May's been really good. I just thought in the playoffs that they would face somebody that has one of those elite quarterbacks, right?
Yeah.
Like, throughout the year, you didn't expect the Chiefs to continue to struggle the way they did. You thought, oh, it's Mahomes, they'll figure it out. You didn't expect the Ravens to struggle the way that they did. Joe Burrow got hurt early on, really never had a chance. Josh Allen, you thought would be here. But no, in order to get to the Super Bowl, all they had to do was face Justin Herbert, CJ Stroud, and now Jarrett Stidham.
Yeah. I mean, Justin Herbert didn't have an offensive line as his 2 tackles are out for the season. And then CJ Stroud is just continuing to regress.
I have no idea what happened to him, but he did not look like an NFL caliber quarterback.
He had 4 turnovers in the first half.
He had 7 turnovers in 2 playoff games.
That's ridiculous.
And I think he had a few other fumbles that did not get picked up by the other team. So,
I mean, what happened?
It's going to be a very interesting Conference Championship Sunday. It starts at 2:00, I believe, 2:00 Central Time. Patriots and Broncos out there in Denver. It's the same time as our South Carolina game, so I will miss most of that one. I will not miss Seahawks Rams. I will be locked in for that one. I think it's going to be a great game out there in Seattle. We will talk about it next. LA, Seattle for a spot in the Super Bowl. The third and final game of that NFC West battle. We'll talk about it coming up next. Jake Lyman, Connor Newt, Parker Kelly, next man up, 125 The Game.
quick turnaround right there. Great job.
Well done, Parker.
Sometimes spots memo, you know?
Yep.
Next man up, 102.5 The Game. Jake Lyman, Connor Newt, Parker Kelly with you. Looking ahead to Sunday, Championship Sunday across the NFL. Patriots and Broncos in the AFC title game leads us off. And then Seahawks Rams, the finale of a trilogy this year. What a thriller it was last time they met. The Seahawks coming all the way back to win that game. Felt like a big turning point for Sam Darnold. But this is it. I mean, Sam Darnold, the questions are, can he win the big one? I know he beat the 49ers in that game. He did not have to play a snap, and they would have won that game. They returned the opening kick for a touchdown and gave up 6 points. So they could have won that game without the offense. He played well, not to take anything away. But this is one where you're going to need Sam Darnold to make some plays.
Yeah.
You got Matthew Stafford, Super Bowl winner, MVP candidate on the other side. Can he come through in the biggest moments and get Seattle to a Super Bowl playing at home?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like this is the two teams left that have the least amount of weaknesses, if you were to ask me. I think on paper, I think I agree with you, Jake, that I think LA might be the better team from top to bottom. Look, they've got the MVP frontrunner, in my opinion, at quarterback in Matthew Stafford. Puka Nacua is a great receiver. Devontae Adams has come on as of late, and then their defense is just unbelievable with Jared Verse and Byron Brown. That's the USF quarterback. Byron Young is who I'm thinking of. But you know, Seattle's defense is great too. With I'm blanking on his name, the corner.
Woolen.
Tariq Woolen. I don't want to call him Legion of Boom 2.0 because I don't think they're that good. But
yeah,
they're good.
Eman Warrior, the rookie's been really good.
The Titans could have had
our guy Ernest Jones at linebacker,
who I don't understand why the Rams wanted to get rid of in the first place.
Yeah, that one might come back to haunt him tomorrow.
He's all over the field. But, I mean, their offense is great, too. It's a matter of how Sam Darnold plays because he has that oblique injury. But,
yeah,
fortunately, he's got the receiving leader to bail him out. And, you know, they've got another injury in their backfield.
Yeah,
Zach Charbonnet is out. So, I'm curious to see how Kenneth Walker looks being the bell cow for the remainder of the season. But you're right. This has the chance to be an all-time matchup. I think I really think the winner of this game is going to win the Super Bowl, kind of like you. I think we're going to get, well, actually, I'll save that for our Monday headlines. But
yeah, we're going to do Monday headlines coming up at the bottom of the hour. Make some predictions here. I was looking through. So in these games between the Rams and Seahawks, the home team has won both times. Each game, the games combined have been decided by 3 points total. Yeah. 21-19, the Rams won in Week 11 in LA, 38-37 in that thriller on, was that a Thursday night game?
Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday night game in overtime.
That was when the Seahawks wore those gray jerseys. We were drinking at JBJ's. It was a great time.
Oh, right. Yes, that was the holiday party.
You were calling a game.
I was calling the game against Albany that night.
Did you use your gift card yet?
I haven't gotten it. I don't know. I still don't know what I won. I
don't remember what you won.
I've been told I won something.
You won something.
It's a major award. No one has told me anything about it. I just realized the Titans have played all 4 teams in the conference championships this year. Shows you how easy that 4th place schedule was. They did go 0-4, but to give the Titans a little bit of credit, they kind of played with 3 of the 4 teams.
Yeah. They played with the Patriots in the first quarter.
The first half, until the Cam Ward ghost fumble, that game was at least somewhat competitive. So you could honestly say the Titans played. They did go 0-4, though. And they played.
It's the moral victories, folks. We take them where we get them.
I guess they play. It's funny. If the Broncos and Rams win, the Titans will have played. Cam Ward's first 2 games as an NFL player will have been against the 2 teams that went to the Super Bowl.
All you had to do was beat one of those teams, and we could have played. We could have claimed a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
kind of like Auburn.
Right. I look at this game with the Rams and Seahawks, and I'm leaning towards Stafford. Like that's where I go. I think the rosters are similar. I'd give the Seahawks a little bit of an edge on the defensive side. I'll give the Rams an edge on the offensive side. It's going to be a great game. I think that's all we can hope for. I'm just glad, our game will have wrapped up around like 4:30 or so, and I'll get to settle in and watch this one.
Hell, you can FaceTime me. I'll probably be here trapped.
Yeah. And
I've got my sleeping bag though. We're gonna be all right.
it's gonna be great.
Hopefully they stock the fridge. Let me say that again. Hopefully the people that work here stock the fridge like I was promised.
Take care of my guy Connor Newt, who's here this weekend.
They should just put vegetables and fruit in the fridge.
No, I want like microwavable meals. I don't care what it is.
And water.
I don't know if is it a good thing that the snow isn't going to affect either of these games this weekend on Sunday? Because
Sure.
I mean, sure, it's a good thing in terms of scheduling, but how cool would it be to have just like full-on blizzard for one of the championship
the
games?
stupid West Coast. God.
Like, do you remember it was a Bills Colts game maybe 5 years ago?
Oh, yes.
And like they were going to kick the game-winning field goal, and they had to come out and like literally clear a spot with their hands to put the ball
I
down.
do remember that because the Bills were in all red. I remember this.
And Shady McCoy was on that team, I want to say. Frank Gore might have been on the Colts at that point or something like that.
Andrew Luck was the quarter. I think Tyrod Taylor may have been the Bills quarterback at that point.
Yes. So this might have been like 2018, 2019 or something like
Allen
that.
must have been benched.
I loved that game of you could barely even see it because the cameras were just like so covered in snow.
Well, I think about the game. I was young for this.
Titans
Patriots, and then even more recently, Titans Packers on Sunday.
Yeah,
night football,
that was
Monday night.
It was Sunday night.
Yes, because that was the
game. Devontae Adams scored 3 touchdowns, I want to say.
Yeah.
But Tannehill had the little read option touchdown run up the middle. The Patriots Titans game. I remember exactly where I was. I was bowling with my family, and like my dad, I think told me, he's like, "Oh, Chris Johnson has 200 yards rushing." And I was like, "Oh, awesome. The Titans must be winning." And he was like, "No, it's 59-0."
When was that? 2008?
It was Chris Johnson's 2,000-yard year, so it was 2009.
Okay, I was 5. So I don't really remember that, but I remember seeing it.
It was 2009, right? Because Randy Moss.
I remember that.
Randy Moss had a huge game that day.
Well, the Patriots were in the. It
was the AFL throwbacks. The Titans were in the Oilers uniforms
because they had the light blue Oiler helmets.
Yes, it was. It was week 6, 2009. That game was in October,
and it was snowing that hard.
October 18th. And yes, so Chris Johnson ran for 128 yards. So I guess it wasn't nearly as much. But that was part of his 2,000-yard season. Randy Moss, 8 catches, 129 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Nice.
Yep.
Great times.
One of the infamous moments in Titans history. But yeah, I'm a little disappointed we're not going to get blizzard-like weather in any of these spots. But
Snow Bowl just adds so much more aura.
It does.
I sound like such a 16-year-old kid saying that, but it is.
It is just, it's fun watching it changes the way the game is played, which honestly maybe isn't good for a game that's going to decide who goes to the Super Bowl. Like, you want to see the teams play their normal type of game, but man, it's more fun to watch.
You want to hear another dumb statistic about the Super Bowl?
Yeah, go ahead.
We are guaranteed to have 2 teams face off with a shade of blue as their color.
There you go. What's the Super Bowl logo look like this year? Remember that like theory of that? Oh, they're scripting it, and the logo has the colors of the teams that are in there. Let's see. Super Bowl 60 logo is it's like really multicolored. They heard all the noise about it and said,
we don't know who we're going with this year. We're just going to give you all of them.
It's like light blue and pink.
Oh, we could have had the Titans and I don't know. Don't the Bills have pink on their like rivalry uniform or whatever?
Maybe.
But those are 2 AFC teams, so it would make sense.
Yeah, I always kind of thought it was funny that you could make that connection with the colors. But yeah, the NFL said this year we're not letting it happen. We're gonna find out who's going to the Super Bowl this weekend. Patriots, Broncos, Seahawks, and Rams coming up on Sunday. I'm just hoping for good games, right? Like the playoffs have been great so far, with the exception of a couple blowouts here and there.
It's been fun. It's
been a great couple of weeks of playoff games.
Yeah. I mean, we were going to watch anyway because it's playoff football.
Right.
We're not going anywhere this weekend. We're snowed in probably, unless, some of these meteorologists that are saying we're going to get less than an inch of snow are correct. Which
Yeah.
I have a hard time believing. But we're not going anywhere. Put on a show for us. Entertain us. Sunday, we will be seated in front of the TV all day. Well, you won't. You'll be working,
I'll be working, but
I will. So put on a show for me. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, it was funny. Some of my friends were texting this past weekend, and they said, is this one of the best NFL playoffs ever with some of the games we've gotten? I mean, both Bears games have been great.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think back through the AFC. Bills Jaguars went down to the wire. Tons of great games. And somebody said, maybe the 2021 playoffs were better. And I said, not to all of us.
Yeah.
Although
I have a mental block in that one.
That I did not lock in for the rest of those playoff games, but you look back at that divisional weekend and you do have to say, as much as you hate it, it was an unbelievable weekend of football. You got the Titans-Bengals game, which came down to the wire. Later that night, the Packers upset the 49ers upset the Packers.
That's right. Because that was Brock. Was that Brock's first year or was it Jimmy Garoppolo?
I don't know if Jimmy was still there, but those were great games. And then Sunday, the Rams, who did the Rams beat? Oh, the Rams beat the Buccaneers on that game. That was Brady's last game.
That's right.
And it was Stafford and Brady going back and forth. And then the last game of the weekend was 13 seconds with Bills and Chiefs. So, like, as much as I hate it, yes, that was a great weekend of football for the casual viewer, not for Titans fans. But
no, I think I was too mad to lock in. For
right,
the rest of the
I don't even think I watched every second of those games, but I did tune in once it got down to crunch time. 615-737-1025 is the phone number if you want to text or call. Our phone lines driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. When we come back, it is time for Monday headlines. What's going to happen this weekend? We will make some predictions for those championship games and much more around the world of sports. We'll do that next, and we'll also take your Monday headlines on our phone and text line. Jake Lyman, Connor Nude, Parker Kelly, next man up, 102.5 The Game.
Hold on. Don't tell me. I'll get this. I got nothing.
It's Let It Shine.
Come on, Connor. You failed the test.
I don't remember that one that much.
It confused me at first, but then I heard some of the lyrics. I was like, oh yeah, this brings me back to being 11 years old again.
You know, High School Musical is 20
years old this week. Yeah, saw that.
Man,
crazy. Time flies.
I was 2, but man.
Also, on a completely unrelated note, yesterday, 20 years ago, Kobe Bryant dropped 81 in Toronto.
Wow. Right on Jalen Rose too.
LeBron knew it was going to happen. He said so.
Yes, he did. Yeah, I knew that one was going to happen.
Yep.
Next man up, 102.5 The Game. Jake Lyman, Connor Newt, Parker Kelly. We're going to get to our Monday headlines, but first, Jeff on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, with a pretty crazy stat here. In 2009, we were talking about that snow game with Patriots and Titans, and he goes, Titans started 0-6, so they had lost 6 straight games. That was the last of those 6. The Broncos started 6-0. Both had a bye week 7. Brett Kern then went from the Broncos to the Titans that week. Both teams finished 8-8, but Brett Kern went 14-2 that season.
Oh, ring him. Give that man a ring.
That's so funny. I do remember that. Yeah, the Titans, they started 0-6 and then went on a run with Chris Johnson doing what he did. Of course, ended with 2,500 yards from scrimmage. Only player ever to do that. Just couldn't do enough to quite make the playoff. That season ended in Seattle, I want to say, right? When he got to 2000?
Yeah, I think so.
That sounds right.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Yep. Final game was at Seattle. And Chris Johnson went for 134 yards on 36 carries that day. I wonder what the strategy was.
Feed the studs.
Let's get to our Monday headlines. We will do one for the NFL playoffs, championship games this weekend, and one can be whatever you want. Connor Newt, do you have one for our 2 conference championship games?
I do. I think Monday morning we're going to be getting set for a Super Bowl rematch from 2014. I think it was 14.
Patriots Seahawks?
Yes.
There you go.
We're going to get set for Drake May versus Sam Darnold. I think that is probably the most likely scenario. I could see just about any scenario at this point, but if there's one I feel safest about, it's probably that one.
All right. I'm going to go big on both games go to overtime. I'm going to say that.
I like that.
I think we've gotten a lot of overtime games in this playoffs. I'm going to say both games go to overtime. Your Super Bowl matchup will be the New England Patriots and the Los Angeles Rams. We will get the 2 MVP candidates, Drake May, Matthew Stafford, going at it for the Super Bowl.
A rematch from 2019
and
also
2001.
2002,
somewhere around there. It was Brady's first Super Bowl was against the Rams. Parker Kelly, what's going to happen on Championship Sunday?
I have a stat to read first. This is via Dan Orlovsky.
Yep.
Will Campbell has lost 8 pass block reps in 2 playoff games, resulting in 13 pressures, 4 incompletions, and 3 sacks. Denver comes into this game with 71 sacks. It's the defining matchup in the AFC title. There is a world in which Denver does win this football game. The more low scoring it is, the more that it benefits Denver. If it's high scoring, that's going to benefit the Patriots. I think the Patriots win. I think the Seahawks win. I think Sam Darnold has a good game, and we get a rematch of the Super Bowl. I agree with Connor.
All right, so you guys are both Patriots Seahawks on Patriots Rams, but we are all on the Patriots. No one saves the graphic with the Broncos.
I think it's Jared Stidham.
And Mr. Stidham. So it's funny. I haven't been able to find it. And if the Broncos end up winning, I will have to find it somehow. When I was in high school, I wrote for our student newspaper, and I wrote out the next 10 Super Bowl champions. And I don't remember what team I had him playing for, but this was when Jared Stidham was at Auburn, and I had him winning one of those Super Bowls. So if the Broncos win the Super Bowl with Jared Stidham, I have to go back and find it.
But called it.
I do remember in like 2017, I predicted Jared Stidham would win a Super Bowl. I don't know if I'll ever be able to go back and get that article, but
the Oracle. Look at you go.
There is a chance it might have been with the Jaguars. I don't know why that's hanging with me. That I think
the Oracle.
He sees all.
Jake, the Oracle.
The futurist is here, ladies and gentlemen.
If I can find it, I will put that on Twitter because I mean, to predict Jarrett Stidham to win a Super Bowl and then it actually happens, even when he's not the starting quarterback for the team.
You may blow up.
That could go viral if I could actually find it.
It's like Kurt Signetti's daughter putting out the text of him or her with,
Are you happy?
No. And then 6 years later, she does it again.
Yes, with like 80 exclamation points. I think he had already taken that celebratory beer he told Molly McGrath about. Ryan in Florida says, Monday headline, Darnold chokes Rams versus Denver. So Ryan in Florida is in on the Broncos. Dustin from Hopkinsville says, playoff Stafford takes care of playoff Darnold. Rams by 10.
This is the one that I feel like
This
is
is the
toss-up.
toughest one.
The
to pick.
Seahawks defense gives them a chance. And like Darnold, I'm not saying that like Darnold is Jarrett Stidham. Like Darnold,
He's a good quarterback.
Darnold has plenty of capability to go and win that game for Seattle. So I'm 50-50 on it. I'm leaning Rams.
Let's see the spreads here.
I think I heard on Pigskin Pick'em, I think Patriots by 4.5, Seahawks by 2.5.
Look at you. You degenerate gambler.
No.
It's not legal. He doesn't do it.
I'm not allowed to do it, but I did hear Robbie and Joe and Ian
You're gonna
talk
get the
about
man in trouble, Connor.
Yeah,
No, he's allowed to gamble on horse racing and boxing and
anything
NASCAR.
without an NCAA championship.
There you
But
go.
I don't do that anyway because it's just, what's the point?
I don't really do it either.
Monday headlines elsewhere around sports. Where are you going?
I'm between two, and I feel like one of them is going to be stealing from you, so I'll go from the other one.
Okay.
I think that heading into Tuesday, we're going to have an SEC basketball matchup that I will be in attendance for, hopefully. Kentucky and Vanderbilt, I think both come out winners and ride some momentum heading into that matchup in Memorial.
All right.
So Kentucky will have to beat Ole Miss at home. Vanderbilt will have to get back to their winning ways and beat Mississippi State
On
in
the road.
Starkville.
Yep. And they, by the way, moved that game up. It
They
is
did.
now an 11 a.m. Central Time tip. So just a heads up, if you were planning on watching, listening, it is now 11 a.m. Mississippi State and Vanderbilt.
Pregame at 10:30. Myself and Nick Frazier will take you right up until then.
There we go. Keep it tuned right here on 102.5 The Game. I am going to go to the ice tomorrow.
Oh, I could have done the other one then.
Oh, were you going to go with the women's team?
No, I was gonna say by Monday the Titans will have an offensive coordinator
Oh, that's
Named-
an interesting one.
named Brian Daboll. But-
Okay. I kind of like that. I'm going to go to the ice, though.
Okay.
The Preds win the Ice Age game tomorrow. UC Soros with a shutout.
Ooh, I like that. UC is due for a really solid game. He played well 2 of the 3 periods yesterday.
Yeah, he got pulled on Tuesday.
Gave up 3 goals in the first, but he's due for the UC Soros experiment, or the experience as we call it, where he just has a couple of just string back-to-back really good games. So I feel like this could be a good one for him.
Yeah, I'm believing in big, or not big juice, little juice.
Little juice.
I want Little Juice to have a big game tomorrow. Who knows? Maybe Anand ends up starting, and my Monday headline is completely irrelevant. But you know what? We'll double down on it.
He meant next Monday.
We'll double down on it.
Stop.
Whoever's in the net, big juice, little juice, they're getting a shutout. There we go. Parker Kelly, what's your other Monday headline?
Okay, so I'm really tempted to take Tennessee money line versus Alabama tomorrow just because Charles Bediako is suiting up for the Crimson Tide. But I know better than that, and Tennessee's really been struggling. So I'm going to go to the Big 12, America's College Basketball Conference.
Wow.
Houston and Texas Tech.
Oh, that's a
I
big
believe
one.
that is probably going to be the game of the day. It's in Lubbock, but I'm going to take Houston to win.
I love that.
All right.
I really like that. Houston is a fun team. Freshmen in general this season for men's basketball are elite. Like, this is an elite class of freshmen.
It's getting to the point where if you're playing as a freshman, you have to be elite, right? Because
Right.
they're 27-years trying to take your job.
I mean, the best
Oscar
one,
Sheboy trying to come back to
Yeah.
Kentucky.
he has no eligibility.
Oh, he's suing, though. He's suing.
That's not a real report.
Oh, it's not a real
No.
report. Dang, I got
I saw
got.
you didn't tell George this, did you?
No,
Okay,
I
good.
almost did.
Okay, good.
Liam Robbins made the joke on Twitter. Can I come back to Vandy now?
Grant
Yeah, I
Williams
saw
has
that.
a year left.
The Doors could certainly use Liam Robbins right now, trying to get that win.
Anthony Davis has 3 years left if he wants to come back.
LeBron has 4.
Yes. The LeBron James bidding sweepstakes in college basketball.
Why not college football? Let him go play tight end.
Oh, what's his name? Monte Harrison did it. He
Yeah,
played
that's true.
baseball
Yeah.
and then went back to Arkansas and walked on as a receiver
Boom. LeBron James, Monte Harrison,
as a 29-year-old.
back. 615-737-1025 is the phone number. Our phone line's driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Last call for phones. If you have any thoughts, Monday headlines, we will get to those next. Also, I teased it earlier. There are rumblings of the Titans getting new uniforms. Let's talk about it coming up next. What would you want to see, and do you think it's possible the Titans are suiting up in some new threads coming up next year? Jake Lyman, Connor Newt, Parker Kelly. We'll wrap up the show next. You're on Next Man Up, 102.5 The Game.
Oh, there we go.
Had to do it.
I was actually listening to the soundtrack last night.
Really?
I get in touch with my feminine side sometimes. So
Wrapping up the show here on Next Man Up, 102.5 The Game. Jake Lyman, Connor Newt, Parker Kelly. Speaking of this, if Breece Hall wasn't already a Titans priority in free agency, this tweet should do it. We need him here now. Breece Hall tweeted, first two songs on shuffle were Jordan Sparks and Jesse McCartney. Today will be a great day. So he's with us.
Come on down,
we
Brees.
need Brees Hall here in Nashville.
Come on down, Brees Hall.
Does that mean they just cut Tony Pollard?
Yeah, I think so. TD was saying to keep Tony Pollard. I'm like, I think he's trending down. I think you maybe get somebody who's younger, whether that's a draft pick or a free agent.
I really like that potential combo. Him and
Hall and Spears.
Tajay Spears.
Yeah.
I think that would work well.
Yeah, I would like it. But yeah, he could be a special guest on Fridays if that's his taste in music. It'd be great. I did talk about possible new uniforms. There is the rumblings out there of apparently the Titans have cut the prices on all of their current uniforms, which is typically something you do when you're about to release new ones. What do we think? Titans finally making a change here after close to 10 years with this set?
Yeah, I think it would make sense. It's a new era. You've got a new coach. You've got a new quarterback.
New stadium coming.
I think this is a good way to get fans excited about the future of your franchise. And, we kind of heard from Warren Moon a little while ago about potential new uniforms. I would love if they would combine the past with the present. So kind of
Oilerish Titans uniforms.
Right. But I also would understand if, you don't want to do the Oilers thing and you stay with the two-tone blue. I just want something more simplistic. I think there's too much going on with the current set.
Yeah, the swords on the shoulders.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to return to the white helmet because I love the white helmet. The Navy just doesn't do it as much for me. I like the Navy helmet, but
these aren't horrible uniforms,
right.
but they can do better. Right. And I think based on what we've heard, I've seen some mock-ups. There's some good ideas out there for some Titans uniforms.
Yeah.
What do you think of the Titans going to a Eagles Vikings type helmet of instead of the logo,
flames? You've
got flames coming out of the side.
Love it.
I wouldn't hate it.
Love it.
Yeah.
It's unique. It's new. I would like it if it was a white helmet, but how cool would a Titan blue helmet be?
Yeah, with the red flames.
That would be really unique. No one has a color helmet like that. White, I love white helmets, but there are multiple teams across. I mean, Dolphins. Now I'm blanking on teams with white helmets. The Colts, a team in your division. It's universal. So how interesting would it be to have that light blue with the flames? I think that would be super, super unique.
Yeah, I'd like that. We know for a fact the Titans are getting the rivalry uniforms. We saw it this year with the NFC West and the AFC East. They did the one-off rivalry uniforms that they wore for certain games. Titans are getting one of those. We don't know if they're overhauling the complete set yet. That has yet to be announced.
I bet you it's red.
The rivalry? Yeah.
Or black.
That's what I was going to say. I think it's red or black.
It's one of those two.
Because you're not going to do a change-up alternate uniform and just make it look very similar to one you've already had. It's going to be something different. I think you're right. Red, black, maybe gray. That'd be my least favorite, but I could see them doing it.
I'd be least excited about gray. I'd be most excited about red because since this franchise's existence in Nashville,
people have wanted the red uniforms.
Always wanted red. I mean, they did the retail ones, and then they did the re-release of the new version.
Yeah,
which
I have one of those.
Is it Marcus?
It is Marcus.
There you go.
It was Will Levis with duct tape shortly.
But now it's Marcus.
Back to Marcus. Ron on the text line said, what do you think about the Titans rocking red with blue trim? I think that would be great. I think
that's more of an alternate to me, though.
Yeah, that can't be your normal uniform. I think the quote, they wouldn't have released the article going, we're embracing Titan blue if that wasn't going to be your main color moving forward.
Just give us a purpose for Britch's report again.
Right.
Because I'm tired of Britch's report. The Titans will be decked out in light blue tops with white pants and light blue socks.
Guess what? It's the same thing as last week. Dustin from Hopkinsville says, if it's not the Oilers uniform colors, don't bother. I think that's what it seems to be trending towards. The Warren Moon comments made me think that that's what it's going to be. They're getting new uniforms that embrace the Oilers. I think it's going to be Oilers centric.
That's what I would love, but I would understand if they stick with the whole two-tone blue thing, because Navy has been a central part of this franchise's existence since the late 90s. So I would understand if they want to keep that tradition alive, but how fun would it be to stick it to Houston since they have the navy, and just, we'll
Yeah.
take the light blue and the red. You guys can have the navy.
JT on the text line says the Titans should use the sword logo again versus the fireball logo as their primary logo if they make a change. So go away from the flaming thumbtack and have the T sword.
I love the flaming thumbtack too much.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to go away with it completely.
No.
But
Maybe they recolor it. Like, you get rid of the navy inner circle and maybe it's light blue now instead. Kind of like how the Grizzlies did.
yeah,
They changed up that blue a little bit,
Right.
and the nose isn't white anymore. It's blue.
I could see that. They could make it an alternate logo of the flaming thumbtack, but I wouldn't mind going to a secondary logo. Mike in Lebanon, very different, says I don't want any reference to the Oilers and I want more navy blue. So we've got some conflicting thoughts on the text lines. Gunner says I've always wanted to see the red jerseys like they sell at the stadium. I think
I
that's
agree. But you got to go red pants too,
yeah,
or white.
all red.
I don't think navy pants would work with a red jersey.
No, if you're gonna go red, it has to be all red or red and white,
Yep.
right? Like it would look really ugly if they tried to do multicolored. Like, do you remember when the Ravens did the purple jerseys
Gold
with
pants?
the gold pants? Oh my goodness, those were the
Do you remember
ugliest uniforms.
The
ever.
Falcons are getting new uniforms, which thank God.
the,
But the
the
gradient.
ones,
Oh.
yeah. Oh, those were
Well,
horrible.
they released a mock-up when they first announced those jerseys, and one of their combos was black helmet, white top, red pants. I don't think they've ever worn that combo ever since those new uniforms were
No, I don't
released.
think so.
I don't think they ever did that.
I'm excited to hopefully see some new uniforms. I think that you're right. It's a fresh start. You've
Mhm.
got new people in the building. You've got a new stadium being built. I think it's a natural time for a reset here and a new look, whether that includes a new logo or not, I think would be beneficial for this team.
I think it makes sense. I wonder if they were trying to hold off on this until the new stadium was
Right.
completely built.
Yeah.
But that probably includes, well, Brian Callahan has to be a successful coach, and obviously we know what happened there. So I think getting a little bit of a head start on this makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, we'll see. It's just been rumblings, rumors right now. I guess somebody saw on the Fanatics page or something that the Titans cut all of their jersey prices down 40%, which is typically something you do when you're about to announce new ones. So who knows? Maybe that's coming shortly. Maybe before the draft, we start to see some
That would make
teasers
sense.
and stuff like that. Because, right, you don't want to send your first round draft pick out there with the wrong jersey.
Yeah.
So we will see. That's going to be another development for the Titans here in the offseason.
What if it's Wednesday?
Yeah, what if they introduce Salah with a new?
That's their hard launch. They have Salah hold the 26 jersey with his name on it,
That would feel
and it's the new jersey.
it would feel a little bit rushed considering we haven't heard anything about it. But I guess
But I'd be a fan of it.
nothing's impossible, and we will see. Robert Salah going to speak to the media on Wednesday is the current plan. But again, weather this weekend could play a factor. And again, to everybody out there, please stay safe this weekend. Don't be on the roads if you don't have to. But if you are, keep it tuned right here, 102.5 The Game. Lots going on this weekend. Vandy men's basketball, Vandy women's basketball. Preds play tomorrow. So lots going on. Everybody stay safe out there. The plan is right now I will not be on Monday because of Vandy travel. So Connor and Nick will have you covered there. Connor, always a pleasure having you in.
Always a pleasure. Cromwell Media, please stock the fridge. If you can hear me, please stock the fridge. Thank you.
That'll do it for us this weekend. Everybody stay safe out there. Chase and Big Joe are coming up next year on 102.5 The Game.